Have you ever seen a plane that's going to Burundi?
Do you know what their airport is called?
I don't think they have an airport.
They've been in war for the past 12 years.
Really, it takes me forever to even talk to a teacher. So instead of finding a trash can, I start putting things in my book bag.
That day, I had another funny experience. I went to the financial office and I told the man I was from Nigeria, and he looked at me. I was like, I've never seen a light-skinned Nigerian before.
You have to remember, I'm coming from a land where all they showed us was freaking LA, Beverly Hills, New York,
promised
Manhattan.
land,
Exactly,
the colorful
promised land
trees.
type shit. And he goes, that's a homeless guy. I said, in America?
Doesn't make any
And we
sense.
moved here?
Yeah.
They have homeless people? Biggest culture shock of my life.
Chafuwa Meza, Chafuwa Meza. Tuko Nairobi tuna Chafuwa Meza, Chafuwa Meza, Chafuwa Meza. Tuko in the city, Chafuwa Meza. Don Kings in the building. Don Kings in the building. Chafuwa Meza, Chafuwa Meza. Tuko Nairobi tuna Chafuwa Meza, Chafuwa Meza, Chafuwa Meza. Tuko in the city.
Like, what were you telling me the other day about Nigeria? What do the politicians do? They come,
Yeah,
they
just
give,
come
they
and
give, they
give
give,
you
they
money
give.
the day before the
And then after
election,
that, you don't see nothing. What do we do back home?
Same thing.
Exactly. So
Same
it's
thing.
literally, it's a method that we've obtained. And what Burkina Faso did, they said, nah, I ain't gonna give you money. But what I can do, if I get on that seat, I will change our lives for life. And they actually listened. And they said, okay, let's give him a chance. Let's see what he can do. In the last literally 6 months, this man has done a full change. Like, it is so much change that Burkina Faso is now at the point where Ghana is. Come on.
Hey guys, for the people at home that don't know what's going on in Burkina Faso, can I get like a little summary? Just a little summary.
Of what is going on in Burkina Faso.
Yeah.
So this happened last year, where the president that was there, I believe, was quote unquote put by the French government, right?
I tried to
'Cause
Google it while you guys were yapping.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on, but please carry on.
So the initial government that was there was literally in the background, like every other African country, was being controlled by the Western world.
Okay.
And the guy who came in, what he has done, he's like, nah, this is our country, we're gonna run this country.
Okay.
And he's literally removed that French Revolution from there. Like, he chased them away.
How?
Good question.
Okay, this is what happened, right? Like before he came into power, right? The person who was in here before, of course, he was highly influenced by the Western government, right? And the Western government took advantage. The country just went completely down, and that person had no other option of what to do next. So the guy right now who's in charge, aka the president, he's the one. He was in the military. He was the general. He still is the general in the military, right? He saw this person has no any power. There's no any help. He can't do anything to help the country anymore. So he decided, you know what? I'm gonna take over. I'm gonna help these people. I'm gonna help this country. We're gonna make a difference, right? So he made that to be his main objective. Now, when he came to power, everybody thought it's gonna be the same thing. Because when African leaders come into power, you know what happens. It's a selfish thing. They just think about themselves. They take everything in. So whatever he said at first, everybody questioned that. It's like, okay, you're gonna do A, B, C, D, and we're gonna see that happen. Good luck with that. Because as soon as you see the money, you're gonna eat the money, and you're gonna forget the rest of the country, right? But to him, apparently, he meant everything he said. His actions spoke louder than his words. So yeah, he became popular worldwide because of his actions, not of what he said. And until right now, even I think so far, up to date, maybe at least 20 assassinations have been tried on him. 20 at least.
Damn.
It could be more, but we know maybe at least 20. They try to take him out because that's how well he's doing. You know what I mean? So now, when you look at someone like him, and then you look at the rest of the world, not the world, the rest of African countries, now you wonder, can they copy the same thing? Because a good example, like you mentioned, our country, Kenya, our president is wealthy. He care less about who the fuck you niggas are. Like, shit, you can commit suicide, you can do whatever. Like, his money's plenty. That's not his money, it's your money. You know what I mean? It's coming plenty. And this is the sad part. Even when you see someone like Trump say, we live in shithole countries, that shit is so real because he look at our government officials taking money from our country and then they want to come on this side to actually invest, buy houses and shit. And he's confused, like, why would you want to do that shit? Knowing how America it is. Like, you could be big in your country, but you come over here, it's just like anybody else here. Why?
Yeah, that's very
And they're not stupid?
Yeah.
I think that's why.
I mean, we
No, they
we
don't
shall-
see it like that, though. Because, in Africa, it's bragging when you tell someone, yo, I have a house
I
in
have
America.
houses in America.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's true. Status.
Yeah, that's huge. But what you're not telling them is how they treat you in the Western world.
Well, to answer the question, will African countries, I think will African countries copy that? I think yes, but I think it will take a very long time. It would take the current older generation to leave before a change can happen. And the reason I say that is our last election that we had a guy that literally ticked every box. Everything he said, what everything was going to do, everything was good. It was a previous governor. When he was a governor, the state he was a governor of had one of the best growths. He did everything very good. Then we had another man who literally said, "It's my turn." And guess who won that election? The one that said, "It's my turn."
Yeah.
Why? Because they called him the godfather. They're like, "Is his son? He needs to be president." That's it. He didn't run on any policy or not any genuine policy. Made up policies. You literally had someone who had track record of progress, who turned a state that was doing bad, made it a fully growing, a fully developed state. He did that. Someone who was educated, who had a proposed plan of what he was going to do when he got into the seats. Someone who has a history of not taking bribe, who had a history of chasing those corrupt politicians out of his state. Someone who had that. And you voted for someone who said, because the person said, "It's my turn. It's my turn to be president." And you're like, "Yup, that's him. We're voting for him." So yeah, I think it can happen, but I think it's going to take that generation would need to have gone away before that type of change can happen in most African countries.
Do you think population played a part?
Yes,
So,
and
like-
tribes also.
Right.
Just
So
like you
like
mentioned.
I know Burkina Faso is, compared to Nigeria, compared to Congo, Kenya, South Africa, it's pretty small.
Yeah.
So I think because it was easy to like keep them in one, so it was easier for them to go through that change. So do you think that countries that are smaller will be among the first, if they decide to employ such a system, will be the first to do that? And also, because this was military, do you think now it gives like multiple like African countries, like it gives the military a more of a
Power.
if they could do it, we can do it too.
Well, yes and no. I know the reason why I say yes and no is that, like, for Nigeria, we have I don't think it's a contract, but we literally have something that says it cannot be a military coup.
Really?
Yeah, so it was sad because we've had military coups a lot in the past. So there's literally a sign something. I don't know. I don't think I'll call it a law or something, but it's literally something that says we cannot have a military coup anymore. So I don't know which other African country has something like that. So for the military parts, I don't really know. But for the size parts, I want to believe that yes, that plays a factor into it. That because of the smaller size of it, like Nigeria is the most populated country in Africa. We have
Africa.
over, I believe, 300 million
Yeah.
people in there. Then also you now bring in tribe, which is what happened in this also.
Yeah.
Tribe. The man that said it's my turn belonged to the populous tribe. So people literally voted for him because he was my person.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you look deep into that, even if when you mention the tribe thing, you have to look at the bigger forces. Like, you might find out the Western was influencing that guy. You know what I
Very
mean?
possible,
Yeah,
yeah.
they the
Probably.
one. Yeah, they the one providing everything he needs. They pushing the agenda for him, making the other guy look bad, and then down the line he ends up winning.
Yeah.
Because Nigeria with America,
Yeah,
they're just like this.
and just like what you said, another thing that I've grown to realize is that the Western countries they benefit more when there is disorder in an African country.
That's what they do.
Yeah, because then they can
Yeah.
easily go in and take advantage. They can buy the resources cheaper. They can take advantage of the resources when there is disorder. They can't do that if you have your shit together. Then you will know the real value of your resources, which
know,
means they have to pay more for it.
Their goal is always like this. They always come and act like they want to help you guys if there's something they can benefit from you guys. If your country has nothing to offer, they'll never show up.
Yeah.
And when they show up, they always act like, okay, we're gonna try to act like we're pretending to help you guys.
Yeah.
And then on the other side, they taking advantage of whatever you guys have. It could be the minerals, whatever is benefiting them, they'll take that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they're not really helping. They're creating chaos, but you guys will just never see it.
Yeah.
Because let's say, for example, if right now there's a fight over here, and then these guys will be like, you know what, we're gonna step in and stop the fight. But behind the fight, you don't see what's happening.
going to happen.
Yeah, but at least the fight did stop. So we did do something, but you don't see what happened on the other side.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, but by the time you come to catch up, what happened on the other side is too late. They took it and they left. See what I'm saying? So they're not really helping anything, but it looks like they're helping, and they're pretty good in making things look like they're helping, but they're not. Now, example, our country, you see with our president, like he's living fabulous. Whatever else the people got going on, he don't care. And the funny thing is, every single speech he does, he tells people, like, this is what I'm going to do for you guys for the last 4 years and beyond that. But that never comes to reality. But people still believe in him. There's people believe in him. And that's the crazy part. There's still people believing him. When he says stuff like that, like, yeah, we're waiting for him. It's like, isn't that the same shit he said like 2 years ago?
Manipulation is real.
But also, go on.
I don't know a lot about politics, but I also think like tradition and like our old culture and like the way like things are the reason like our countries are never gonna develop. Especially like with like our grandmothers and our mothers like telling us stories. This is the way, like this is the way, and them not being educated on like a different like idea or a different view is gonna be the reason it never develops.
I agree 100%. I was going to say something that the mindset that because someone is older, the person knows more.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the biggest downfall to most African countries. And which is another thing that happened, right? The man who is in power right now was older. Like, I think maybe 20 years older than the other guy. And people would say, oh, he's older, he had more experience.
Or wisdom.
Yeah.
So at what point then do we say, okay, our current generation needs to step in and say, listen, because if we look at how population growth happens, right? Our current generation is what is about to come up and become the most populous. So at what point do we stop having that ear, which as Africans we know is next to impossible because we gotta listen to our parents and this and the third. But at what point do we say, hey, we hear what you're saying, but we don't believe that is the right because we are younger and we are more now, we're going to bring somebody that we believe that can lead us better and stop living on that same mentality. At what point does that change happen?
The point is now, you know why? Because we have so much information out here. You know what I mean? We know a lot better as opposed to what our parents used to know during their times. You know what I mean? Our parents were raised probably in a dictatorship. Like, you couldn't do more. You couldn't do a lot as opposed to what we can do right now. And then at the same time, they didn't have the technologies we have right now. So we have so much power they never had before. You know what I mean? So there's no other good time than the time that we have right now. That's why we have a platform like this to communicate to people so that they can know what to do. You know what I mean? There was no podcast during our parents' time. They had the radio, and the radio was controlled.
I have a question. How many of you guys can like stand up to your parents right now if they said something that you disagree with?
I was actually gonna
Me?
I was actually gonna say like Elvis has heard me do that a lot to my mom.
Yeah, I do it too.
That's to follow what you're saying. The answer to that is right now because that's one thing I did. Like me visiting my family this December, That's one thing I did a lot with my mom. Like I literally had to explain to her that because you are older doesn't mean you know more than me.
Or does it mean you're right?
Yeah. Doesn't mean you're right, doesn't mean you know more than me. It took her a while, but eventually she started to realize that, okay, yes, I don't know this. And I think it's something that you have to like reiterate to people now. You have to be able to sound to people now. Having that conversation because like she had a medical issue where she immediately diagnosed herself and thought that this was what was going on with her because in the past she has seen people do that, right? When they have this is exactly what this is, and they start treating themselves for this. And my first response is, what makes you so sure that this, because you have this symptom, this is what's wrong with you?
Right.
And she's like, trust me, I know. I was like, you're not, you didn't go to school for it. You're not a medical person. So it's like, listen, when you get to a certain age, you understand this thing. And I was like, nah, that's not how it works. But we went back and forth with that.
Okay.
Eventually, she went to. I had mentioned that from what you explained to me, it looks more that you have this than what you were saying. Eventually, because when she was taking the medication she was taking for it, it didn't get better, obviously, because she was taking the wrong medication. She eventually went to a doctor, and they had told her that what I had said was wrong with her was what was actually wrong, and not what she had diagnosed herself from. That was one situation. We had like different situations where I literally would be like, you have to realize that yes, you're older, yes, you've lived on the world longer than me. It doesn't mean that you always know more than me.
Your mom is in America?
No, she's back in Nigeria now.
Back in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Because the reason I asked that is because sometimes it's a bit challenging when you live in America because now you get. I don't know. I don't want this to sound bad because there's something about coming to America. You get like your mind gets open in a different way.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
You're exposed to more things, yeah.
Exactly. So now when you communicate with your parents, sometimes there's like a division right there. There's a gap in there. They
Called
can't.
disrespect. So they
Yeah,
call it.
they take it like that. Yeah, they take it like that.
I mean, no, she says every time that because you're in America now, you're using all this American knowledge. And
exactly.
I'm like, yeah, I'm in America. I've been exposed to more things, so I have a wider point of view to more things.
Yeah.
It's not because of where I'm, just because I've been exposed to more things. I have a broader mindset of thinking. I'm not thinking the way I was thinking, my narrowed point of thinking when I was just there. Yeah. I've seen other things. I've seen other cultures. I've seen other people do things differently.
Right, exactly.
But I think it's going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot of conversation to actually get that change into like the older generations.
To me, I slightly disagree with that. I think we need more action as opposed to conversation. I think that's the thing we've been having for a long time. It just talks with nothing.
See, my only thing with that is, so we had a situation in Nigeria, October 2020, where the youth decided to put in action and decided to protest. Then it was NSAS. If you know what, so NSAS was basically our special anti-robbery section of the police. They were first created to get like the thieves and armed robbers, but they got corrupt and now they would like stop anyone who was young. Like someone like me, right? If I was walking on the street, I had like my laptop or I have dressed nice, they literally would stop me and consider me to have done something
like
to be able to afford what I have. And it got to a point where you start arguing with them. Well, these men have guns, right? You start arguing with them. They were probably drunk. Shots fired. Someone is dead. So the youths actually went to protest that. They didn't really get the backing of the older generation because they're like, why are you doing this? Like, if you behave yourself, if you dress the way you're supposed to dress, you won't enter that situation. But they did that, and what happened? The government retaliated. They turned off the lights, shots, people died.
Oh, shit.
So action was made, but because they didn't, people will look at the youth and be like, they don't know better. That was what the older generations will say.
Yeah.
They don't know better.
Yeah.
Which is why actions alone would not do anything. You still need to
communicate.
to on
You know what? You're right. When was this that happened?
2020.
2020.
Yeah.
See, good, because that's at least 5 years gap, right? Now, at that time, between 2020 and maybe let's say 2023, right? In Africa, we have a good example for any leader we can look at, be like, okay, that's what we should be doing. Right now, we have someone we can look at, right? We can look at Burkina Faso, because before, if you told someone in Africa, like, "Oh, a leader can come up and change everything," we'd be like, Negro, please, from where? Everybody gets the money and they leave. We can watch Ibrahim. So Ibrahim has set the bar. That's the guy. And forget setting the bar. Actions has done what he was saying. He spoke, and people took it for granted. It's like, okay, whatever. But we can see the action.
I think, if not to cut you guys off, but I think it's going to take conversation and education.
Yeah.
You have to educate the people on what is going on and how to change and why there is a reason to change. Because even though with the world evolving, if we didn't have school or seminars to educate us on AI, we wouldn't know how to use those systems. So,
True, but with this one, don't you think that because we have the wild, wild web, right? Internet, don't you think that now that our generation back home, they're seeing this, and so they're like, you know what? If they can do it, so can we. Like, remember when Kenya we were doing there last year, right? What's the one thing you told me? You said, oh, shoot, look how y'all are doing this thing and how y'all are really stepping in front of the government. And and all we were doing is stopping a finance bill from passing. And we protested and we went through this. What literally happened 3 months later? Uganda did it. Because they saw what Kenya did and they saw the move. Like, we pushed it to a point where the president, quote unquote, put a halt onto the bill getting postponed. So Uganda was like, you know what? If they can do it, so can we.
how are you going to protest something that you don't have any education over?
Wait. So let me answer to that real quick, right? Because you mentioned something about education, right? Remember, the government, where we come from, Africa, the government runs everything in your country, literally everything, right? If they have to be in power, they have to make sure you don't get the right education. Lack of information makes them stronger. They will not gonna feed the teachers, or at least the educational system, to make you guys smarter so you can come and fight them. That will never happen. So guess where you're gonna get the education from? From platforms like this. This is why we giving the education back. People will learn from this. The platforms that we have right now. This is the education we providing to these people. When Mandamano happened, okay, in our country we call it Mandamano, when people went to the streets and were fighting back, some people went online and actually structured the whole thing. You know what I mean? So this is the new era we are right now. So this is the education that you're talking about. School is not going to provide this.
And the seminars, to be honest, they will get shut down. So like there was a lot of people that came during that moment and they were like, hey, we should meet at this point to educate and tell you, okay, why are we trying to stop the finance bill? What are the reasons? Guess what happened to those venues? Got shut down.
Yes.
Police closed them down. So where are you gonna hold this?
I think you guys are misunderstanding what I'm trying to say. It was an example.
No, I get it. I'm just saying in a large spectrum.
No, we're speaking generally.
right?
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
general,
Yeah,
in
general.
a large spectrum, it's kind of hard, especially with back home, to try and do something that, because the minute Elvis, I've been in America for 10 years, right? Let's say I go back home and I'm like, you know what? I think I want to make change. You know the first thing they're going to look at? Nah, he's trying to stand out. He's trying to stand to be in government. Guess what? My head is already put on a plate.
Yes.
Because it's like, so he left US, he's coming here to challenge us, to stand in power. Oh no, the young folks gonna like him because I can relate to the young folks. But the old folks that are sitting in that seat,
Coming for your head.
oh no, they have my name already signed.
Yeah.
For real, for real.
I think another thing, just to go to what Stacy was saying about the education, is
Yeah.
also awareness, because like even though all those countries are in Africa, you have to realize that most countries live on an island, in the sense that they are unaware of what are going on in other countries. Like, for example, I can bet you that you ask people in Nigeria right now, maybe not all of them, a good amount of them, about Burkina Faso, and no one would know what was happening. Like, we being outside of it, but we are looking at the entire Africa, not just our own country, right? So we're able to see everything. But for most people in Nigeria, Ghana, especially if we divide it into the four regions, right? For most people in the West Coast, they don't know what's going on in the East Coast. They don't know what's going on in the South. They don't know what's going on in the West. Just like the same, right? Because like even if you look at just right now, because you even see this on TikTok. I was watching today where a lady she had so I have because I was just in Nigeria, my TikTok is still set to Nigeria, so I still see some Nigerian things, and I have it on another phone, which I downloaded in the US, which I see more of the US things, right? You would literally search for the same thing and get two different results because it's giving you results based on where you're from. So a lot of people in Nigeria, they're going through social media and they probably would not have seen anything going on in Burkina Faso because they're not aware of it.
Is it
which
because
why,
it's filtered?
yeah, but which is why things like this, like you said, is very important because like you're not just talking about this country or that country, you're talking about every country, like things are going on in everything. So when a Nigerian comes and watches this podcast, okay, he hears you mention, okay, Burkina Faso. Oh, okay, let me go research what's going on in Burkina Faso. You mentioned Mali. Let me go research what's going on in Mali. I think that's really another important thing. That awareness.
Yo, you took my point already, man. I got a drink for you, man. Because now I was gonna say when you mentioned that, right? There's so many people who don't know what's going on in the next region or next country, whatever the case might be, right? Now having a platform like this, that's what I was saying when we started the show earlier, and you told me from Nigeria, and she says from Burundi, I was like, yo, this is gonna be dope. Because I knew we are gonna attract these people from different backgrounds to watch this platform, and guess what? They will get the information. That's why I say this is the new education now. Forget the school system. This is the new education, and then guess what? But guess what my target is? I try to target people as a big influence. If you have a big follower, I can have you on this platform. Guess what? Your followers will end up getting information.
Yeah.
Slowly. You see what I'm saying? So this is the new education. This is how we get to our people. You know what I mean? Our school system is not going to do it.
Yeah, no, definitely.
It's not going to do it.
Has failed us.
Yeah,
Yes,
completely.
sir, completely.
Completely.
Very, very true.
So now we have to take action into our own hands.
I think now the important question is how would you get, like, definitely you would get the younger generation to watch podcasts, right? How will you get the older generation to also watch podcasts?
Let me tell you why. That's a good one. I got to do one for this one, man.
Lord have mercy.
This my guy over here
This boy
sleeping.
gotta be going.
You took him out. He's supposed to be Kenyan.
Please don't corrupt our child. We've worked very hard on him.
You have no idea, man. He's running away from us. Let me tell you something, right?
Do you want some juice?
Especially for you right now. You're a young man, right? Your parents look up to you now because you're the next king in your house, right? We depend on you to have the information more than the older people because you can teach them.
Yeah.
Remember, like the saying goes, you cannot teach an old dog a new trick. I mean, it's just so hard. But you, the younger generation, once you get the information, you can pass that even to the next younger generation, and they will learn that from that. They will grasp it, you know what I mean? So we need you more than them. You know what I mean? Yeah. Most of them are retired. They're on their way out. It's like, yo, now we chilling. We want to watch you guys. What you got? What you got for us? Let's see what you got. So it's not our part to convince them to understand us. It's our part to understand us and convince the next people, the next generation, to understand what we got going on. You know what I mean? Because if we know better, we're going to make sure they're going to do better.
Yeah.
But if we lost, guess what's going to happen to the next one?
They're going to be lost as well.
They're going to be lost as well. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So now we're going to do better. Our parents right now, they're out the way. We are the men now. You know what I mean? They're watching us. Like, well, what you got? You know what I mean? Now, when you talk to your parents right now, your mom doesn't look at you the same way she was looking at you 20 years ago.
Definitely.
See, she's just a grown person. Yeah. Unless you act like a kid, now she's going to be like, nah, I don't know who the hell this is.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when you speak to us as a grown person, she's going to be like, oh, shit, look what we got. We got a king in this house. Yeah. And then when she watch your actions, done deal.
Yeah.
And to piggyback on that, honestly, think about it in like just the same way we always talk about it in the house, right? Like when you talk to your brothers, when you're on the phone, hey, can you apply this? Can you do it this way? Can you do this? It's because on some level, your mom already has given you that mantle, right? So she knows that Ini is gonna control this. No matter what, Ini got this. Ini's gonna walk this through. And it's like we've gotten to that point where it's like we joke around all the time, like, oh, adulthood, I don't want it, woo woo. But in the back of our minds, we gotta understand, like, for instance, for me, I know that I have a 21-year-old that's looking up to me. No matter what I do, in some retrospect, he's looking at up to me. When I say, hey, Ted, come over, talk to Ini. Why am I directing that? Is because I know, like, whatever information I have, I can only pass what I know. But because I have a connection with you, that's twice the information we're passing over. Then what is he gonna do? Our cousin's back in the Fort Bragg. He has a little kid. He's gonna take that plus what he learns and pass it over. So at the end of it, I think like we are gonna be more compared to the older generation. So even though we cannot teach them the new stuff, and some of them are very open to learning, but even though we can't, when it comes to moments, dire moments of now we gotta put someone in power, someone who's gonna lead, our numbers will take control. Now, will they try to corrupt it?
Obviously.
10%.
Definitely.
But then that's a different fight.
Yeah.
You get?
Yeah.
But at least we know that we've already made that first step. Because at the end of the day, it's block by block that makes the house.
Yeah.
You don't get to build it all at once. So
I think we're in a good space right now. What we're doing, because we actually gradually just building up slowly by slowly. The problem is the speed is not fast enough.
Yeah.
But we somewhere. We heading the right way somewhere. You know what I mean? That's why for me, I like when I have different people in my platform. You know what I mean? Like we can speak a lot about different backgrounds. It's not just a one region type shit. You know what I mean? Yeah, this is good, man.
I'm curious.
Let me ask you one question. Go on.
I know you said you don't have enough information, but based on what you've heard from your parents, what is the politics like in Burundi?
From what I've heard from my parents,
Yeah.
it's not very great. One tribe's trying to kill the other, and my parents are from one tribe, and my mom's from one tribe, and my dad's from one tribe.
Right.
So like, they're trying to we would be killed, of course, and that's why we had to flee. It's genocide. It's a
So
genocide war.
this is still going even though it's been over 30 plus years. Wow. Interesting.
I mean, you can stop something in a country. Doesn't mean you can stop it in someone's hats.
Yeah.
That's true.
Well, go on.
I mean that is very very true. You can stop something in a country, but you cannot stop it from someone's heart. But guess what? We can build more positive stuff that even that hate can slowly die. You know what I mean? We can have
True.
yeah, we can have a smaller number of the hate as opposed to the love. You know what I mean? Let's say, for example, like I mean, I like using Burkina Faso because Burkina Faso is my shit right now, man. I'm really into that, man. Like to me, I'm telling you, I'm not from that country. It's not my country at all, man. But they got me right now. Everything that guy is doing, I'm literally watching him. You know what I mean? I'm so invested in that shit because he's doing the right thing. That shit is even it has got me. And you know the crazy thing is, I've watched so many comments coming from America, the Black Americans in America. They're like, "Yo, I will put my life on the line for that guy," and I'm like, "Shit! Look how much he's doing." That he doesn't even know. Look how much impact he's having. See what I'm saying? So. Burundi is another one. Like just like you mentioned, the genocide going on. People don't even talk about that. And Burundi is a small country. You know what I mean? People don't talk about that as much. And one thing about Burundi is never on the spotlight. It's never on the spotlight. But there's still people dying in it. You know what I mean?
Every single time people like meet me, they're like, "Oh, you're the first person I ever met from Burundi."
Yeah.
I said,
yeah.
I
said the same
say
thing.
that.
Yeah.
I did say that.
Every single time, and it's just like that's because there's people like in our country killing us every single day, and like no one knows about it.
Wow.
That's very interesting.
But guess what? Now they will know about it.
Yeah.
Now they'll know about it. Cause it's not fair for them. You know what I mean? It's not even fair for you guys to flee your own country. It's not fair.
Yeah.
I mean, and I was watching the same thing for Congolese.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, as we speak, they fleeing.
Like whatever's going on in Congo, like against Rwanda, same thing happened like in Burundi. And like when I remember leaving Burundi as a child, and it was my mom, my dad, and my two other sisters, five of us. My dad came home one day after work and told my mom, like, I need you to pack all your bags and don't say anything to anybody. Mind you, there's bombs going over our house. My dad was like some kind of engineer, and my mom was an accountant. We had great jobs. They had great jobs. We had a great house. But like there was always a war, and like even going to school, like I've been in private school my whole life except for when I came to America and I tried private school and then I got into a fight and whatever. And then I got back into like private school. But like my parents are always like, like they always had a nice life, but except for like the war that was going on. And my dad came home, told her pack her stuff. My mom's like, "What do you mean? What do you?" And my mom, like, she's a regular African woman, like has to listen to her husband. She started packing up the bags. My dad, we were playing we always me and my little like baby sisters always playing in the hallway, and we're playing in the hallway. My dad's like, "Go get ready," and we're like, "What are you talking about? We're ready for bed." And my mom, and I remember, I was little, but I remember everything so vividly. And my dad goes into his office, he grabs his rifle and a handgun. And I'm like, oh my God, what's going on? Like the bombs going over our house, those were a regular thing. And we're getting ready. My mom packs a bag. Like she packs a bag for herself to put on her back, and my dad packs a bag to put on his back. And my dad has my baby sister, Dee Dee. Like she was really young. Dee Dee, and then my mom has me on one hand and Tracy on the other hand. And we're getting in my dad's car. We get in my dad's car. My dad's making a phone call to somebody. And granted, that same day we left, that was the day like my grandfather passed away. And we had later found out because like once we got to South Africa, it was the day like we like found out like after. And we get into like this car. He's driving somewhere. There's bombs going up. He's telling us to get down. Like there's things like being blown up like beside us. Like, and it's really scary. Everyone's like hiding, but like we're outside in the open. I'm freaking out at the same time. I'm a young kid. I'm like,
You
it's
don't
like a video
understand
game
it,
to me.
yeah.
So we get at the car. My dad's like, get on the boat. And mind you, have you guys ever seen like a fisherman's boat? Like it's very crowded, small rooms everywhere. Like, but this is like an African fisherman boat. Like I've only ever seen it in movies, and in like what I can't describe it perfectly, but there was a room is like almost like the size of like a small little closet. And that's where we were at. We were in that little boat for like a day and a half, maybe, like living in there, like smelling fish all the time. And like a day and a half, we traveled to like, I think it was Tanzania, which wasn't that far, but like it's a fisherman's boat. How fast can it really go?
Yeah.
And my parents are like, it's okay. It's only for a few more days, and we're gonna be where we're going. It's okay. And like this whole time, like, where's Dad's gun? And he had left it in his car. He only needed it for us to travel from one end to the other. But he had his handgun the whole time just in case anything happened. And like me and my sisters, like we had no idea what was going on. And we get onto this bus, and we're on this bus. There's not enough seats. So like, like those old buses, they have the engine in the front and then the seat starts. So me and my sisters would sit on the front of the bus, like taking turns. It would get too hot. My dad would sit on our parents' laps. Like it would get cooled down for a bit. We would stop. Like there was never enough seats for everyone. So people were like lapped up. My parents are on this bus. My dad's like, it's okay. Like we barely even ate on this trip. It was like an 8-day trip. We're on this whole like trip, like going to God knows where the hell we're ending up. So we finally get off the bus after a couple of days, and my dad's like, okay, we're gonna get a hotel. Like we're gonna try and find a motel, but like we ended up staying with some kind of family for a while,
until we found like a motel we could afford daily. After like my mom was a cross guard, my dad was like working as like a delivery person, and like during this whole like venture, and like I'm thinking like, why are we trying so hard to like leave our country? Like, why are we even in South Africa? And you get into South Africa, and it's like you're refugees. People are trying to kill you. You're seeking refuge in churches, and like it's like your whole life has been a war until you come to America, and it's just like you're another like outsider almost. I don't know why I went on that rant.
No. You're opening
Wow.
up. This is therapy.
That is perfect. Because I honestly, you see, like, let me say, like, there's so little that people know about Burundi.
Yeah.
Like, literally, Stacy, you're the first person I ever met from Burundi. I said, holy cow, that country actually, like, geographically, yes, I know you exist.
There.
I know you're there. Do I know anything about you? Not a damn thing. Where do I live? I live Kenya. Like, literally, you are focused. It's not that far. But I don't know nothing about it.
I didn't
So-
even know where Burundi was on the map until I met her.
And Burundi don't make any noise. You guys
Yeah.
just
No.
quiet. Yeah.
And but this is the thing. I don't think they're quiet. I think they're kept quiet.
Same
That's
thing.
it.
The same thing. They're quiet.
But that is so wow. Wow. I would have never. Thank you for that.
Have you ever seen a plane that's going to Burundi?
I don't know. Do you know what their airport is called?
I don't think
Forget
we
the
have
airport. First of all.
I don't think they have the airport.
an
Yeah.
airport. I don't think we have an airport.
They've been in war for the past 12 years, so if they had one, it's
More than.
definitely- yeah.
See, that's my point exactly.
Yeah.
You've never seen a plane that's going to Burundi.
Yeah.
Wow. That is insane.
Yeah.
Man, this
That's what I'm saying,
platform,
these guys are
this
quiet.
is literally the platform where education, like you said, comes where, because now I'm literally going to go home and sit down and go, I
What's going on?
let me really see what this country is about. I've known Stacy for almost since what, 21, 22?
21.
And I knew she was from Burundi. That's it. I was like, okay, they're in peace. Like literally in my head, because I don't hear noise about y'all, and I don't hear political this, political that.
Yeah. There's nothing.
I'm
in it.
like, Burundi is safe. Actually,
Exactly.
I need to go live in Burundi.
Exactly. They're good.
Wow.
Apparently, it's not that.
Nah. All that glitter is not gold, Shah.
Ever since you left, you've never been back, right?
No, my parents and my sisters went
What, last year?
2 years ago.
2 years ago?
Yeah.
How was it for them?
It was all right, but we're also like wealthy now in my country. Like, you know, most of my dad's side of the family lives in Canada, and like my uncle owns a funeral home out there. So
But it's a lot safer as opposed to before.
yeah, of course. But like, there's still people killing people there.
That's normal. That's like anywhere.
Yeah. So
But it's a bit safer. Okay. Wow. Shout out to Burundi, man. If you're Burundian, yo, we need you on the show over here so you can tell us some more.
Please give
Yeah.
us
I
more
literally
details.
don't know much.
Yeah, pull out over here. Let us know what's up, man. But you see, this is the talk that we need to have as a continent, the whole of Africa, not just Burundi or anything like that. Just all of us. We need to get together. And this is my another question because this is gonna be a big one. This is gonna be big.
Oh boy.
And I'm speaking of right now, right? What do you think we need in Africa at the moment? Do you think we need one currency or we need one language?
I say one currency because that one is easier than the one language. And the reason I say it's easier is, so most people that have not been to Nigeria don't realize that we speak in the world. Nigeria, we have the third most spoken dialects amount of dialects in the world. There is a bunch. We have 36 states, and I believe I can't remember how many languages, but for dialects, it's around 500 and something different dialects that are spoken in Nigeria. So there's a lot of different languages spoken in Nigeria. And one big issue that separates people is language, right? Language is so hard to learn. Like, for example, I don't speak any Nigerian language besides English and Pidgin. And the reason is because both my mom and my dad were from different tribes. So they never spoke the same language. So they never spoke language to each other. So all I heard in the house was either pidgin or English. Right. Trying to learn language, especially now that you're grown up, nothing. I'm not understanding anything. That's why I say language would be good, but I think it is impossible. Also, you also have to look at you want to tell people that hey, no, I think the main important thing is who decides what language would be the one language and who is going to tell. Like, for example, if we're all being logical with ourselves, Swahili is spoken in a good amount of African countries. So if you want to look at what language we should be is Swahili. And I only know this because I've been here and I'm interacting with people, right? Go and tell a Nigerian that. Go and tell a Ghanaian that.
Yeah, in the
Go and
East,
tell an
Swahili is
Egyptian
bigger,
or
yeah,
Moroccan or an Algerian that we are going to make Swahili
the
the
national.
national African language. They are more going to be acceptance. They are less going to be acceptance to them. But if you tell them, oh, we're going to create a currency that we all use, you are more likely to gain acceptance to that than the language.
And to piggyback on that, I think like 3/4 of Africa speaks English.
Yeah.
We were colonized by British.
Yeah.
3/4 of it was colonized by British. 3/4 of English is it might not be the main language, but it is a language spoken in 3/4 of the countries in Africa. So English already can help us break that communication barrier. Now, currency, because if we hold one currency, which means the value of that one, let's call it African dollar, right? If we end up saying, okay, as a continent, we're gonna call this one African dollar, that value, because we hold what is it, about 73% of resources used in the world,
I think it's more actually.
our value goes way too high. Our value becomes more than the pound and the dollar. Now, with the Western world allow
we get
us,
close to Kuwait.
yeah, we become one of literally, Africa becomes the richest unified continent at that point.
You know what? For me, I love to disagree with you guys. I feel like when we have one language, we can go further than anything because communication works. When we can understand each other, we know exactly what to do or what not to do, right? This is the thing, like a good example again, Burkina Faso, right now, they just took the French out. So now people in that country have to learn a new language or whatever language they're using. They say the French has to go. So people in that country now has to learn a new language, whatever they chose to use. I don't know, maybe it's English or whatever the new thing is, but they have to learn that shit. But it's working. The country's moving forward, right? Now remember, currency can take us so far, but information, we can do anything beyond money. You know what I mean? Remember this. First of all, right now, our world as Africa, we're being ruled by the Western. So the Western will never let us have our own currency. They will always try to fight us back. But if we speak a language that they can't even understand, we're gonna beat them. You know what I mean? Because we're not speaking English. We're speaking a different language. We're speaking something they have no idea of. So that means they have to come in here and try to get some other people that's amongst our own people. You know what I mean? Who can betray us to understand what's going on. So when you get when you get the information, right, you are able to do more. Remember, even in a relationship, remember, look at a relationship. What's the first thing they're telling you? Communicate.
True.
Communicate. If I understand you, you understand me, we can go further. If I just keep giving you money, when the money runs out, then we lost. We don't know what the fuck to do.
But why the money runs out because lack of resources? We already hold the highest percentage of said resources.
Yeah, but we don't have the information. Remember, we're lacking information, and that's why the Western keep to rule because they make sure we don't have the information. But once we have one tribe, we can speak the same shit. That means everybody gets to understand everybody. Remember, like you spoke about the tribe earlier, you got your own tribe because this is what they speak, meaning I can't tell you whatever I want to tell you because you don't understand what they're saying. And these people are watching over here because they don't understand what we're saying. So now there's division. But if we speak one language, there's no division. If I'm trying to corrupt you guys, you'd be like, nah, me, us and them, we cool. But since you guys don't understand what we're saying over here and we don't understand what you're saying over here, it's easier for me to divide you guys. but we speak one. You can't divide them.
But you know,
Why do you think in America we speak? Well, we all speak English, but look at Africa. We got so many shit.
In,
you
Am-
know, go on.
in America, we all speak English, but somehow we all always figure out a way to misunderstand each other.
No, no, we don't figure it out. They make us do that.
Yeah, but like I think I understand where you're coming from, but in the ideal world, it'll be easier to change currencies than it would to teach millions of people a new language, especially millions of people with tradition passed down from years and years. And with especially like when you came to America, weren't there some words you couldn't translate in English?
Because remember, English is inconsistent.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
Like,
Every language is
No,
inconsistent.
no, no. English
No,
is
English is
inconsistent.
the most inconsistent language. Yeah.
Bro, think about you can
We were
use
just
one
talking
word a
about-
million times. It's inconsistent.
I agree
but,
to you.
But now look at it this way, right? That's why they're winning. That's why they're winning. They keep laughing at us. That's why they're winning. You know, it was so sad, man. When I went to Kenya and I found a whole group of people teaching their kids like, yo, do not learn Swahili, only learn English. I was so disappointed. I was like, what are you talking about, yo? That's not our national language. It was so sad. Like, why would you not want your kids to learn the national language of the country you live in?
So I think one way you have to look at that is if we go with okay, we want to get one language, it's going to create classes in Africa, in the sense that whatever language is picked up, the people who already speak those language will be regarded as a higher class than the other people who don't speak that language, because you have people who already know it, then you have a bunch of people who are going to need to learn it. Then you now bring into the play the Western world, which can easily come and tell them, look at them, they don't value you. They want you to learn their language.
It
And now
creates
what
division.
that creates division.
No. I disagree. You know why? Because remember, our main goal, first of all, is to block the Western.
How do you do that? You remember when you started this conversation, you said, now we live in a digital world. It is literally impossible. Think about it. China has been trying for years to limit the US influence within America, within their country, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But guess what? NBA, football, dancing, like all that still is still being in China. And China is
It's literally blocked.
blocked. So it is next to impossible to do that. And when you create a one language, this is the problem. The problem comes in when I go, okay, Stacy, you gotta learn my language. Ini, you gotta learn my language. So by default, I'm superior because you have to learn what I say. And if we all end up learning this language, someone who's out there can go, okay, we got AI now, right? Let's teach AI that language. And then now I'm starting to teach everybody in the world that language. The only reason America, up to today, I think they're still scared of Africa progressing is because Africa has so many languages that we can all communicate. Remember what Muammar Gaddafi was trying to do?
Yes. I don't think they're scared. Remember, they got us like this. I don't think they're scared of us.
They use us because of our politics.
But this is the thing I'm trying to say. I want you guys to understand this point, right? The reason why I say it's easier to get the language going on as opposed to the currency, because it's the Western. The Western will not let that shit happen easily, right? So in the meantime, when they're still focusing on the currency, whatever the issue they got going on, we could be learning some shit, or we could be learning our language, right? Remember, everything comes from your leader. If you have a good leader, things will work the right way. Burkina Faso is a good example. They let the French go. The whole country was speaking French. They're still doing well, and they took out the French.
But they
know what I
also
mean?
spoke English.
They're probably using English or whatever else they're using, but they took out the keyword, the French. You know what I mean? So the whole country has to let that go. Everybody in that country was speaking French, or at least 90% of the country was speaking French. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. Remember, what we try to do was never done before. Just like them, the leader of Burkina Faso is doing what African leaders have failed to do. If we was to mention that shit before, they'd be like, that will never happen in Africa. But he's doing it. You know what I mean? So these things are doable. One thing about life, if you're doing something that's never been done before, everybody looks at you crazy. It's like, oh, nigga, you tripping. That can never be done. Why? Because it's never been done before. No. It's a new world and new things are coming in right now. It's so shocking because you can never see it. You can fathom in your mind like, oh, we can all speak one language, or all of us can speak one language and have one currency, or at least us as Africans can come all together. It sounds insane.
See, the reason why I still disagree with that is, let me still use Nigeria as an example. A good amount of African countries, they have a national language, right?
Yeah.
We don't have a national language. Why is that? Because we have so many different cultures in Nigeria that speak so many different languages. Now, if you want to bring in, because we still even have people that still don't know English, right? So now, if you take away English and you want to bring a new language, now these are people that still speak their own language, don't even know English. How are you going to teach them that new language?
Okay, I got a question for that. Those people don't speak English, right? Do they come to America?
Probably not.
No, some of them, they do come to America, right? Do they end up learning English?
The ones that they will learn the English because they have no other choice.
That's the point.
So
As
now
I
you
told
became a dictator.
Exactly. Boom.
It's not a dictator because we're looking for something it can help us. Remember, people have to learn. What we have right now is not working.
Well, it's not working
We're so
because of our
divided in so
pride.
many things. It's not working.
It's not working because of our pride, not because of the languages. We
You know, it's
Yeah.
the language. Because if I come to where you at, I don't even understand what you're saying. Don't you? You've not have seen people say I can't go to these countries because I know they speak different language. That means if I go over there, I'm gonna get robbed. Because when they planning some shit on me, I don't know what they're saying. So people are afraid to go to your country or your place because they don't understand the language you speak. But if we all speak the same shit, then I know I'm safe.
No, see, to go back to what...
Wait, quick question. You've heard of that, right?
I've heard of it, but I don't agree to it. Let me ask you a question. You've been to Mexico?
No, I've never been to
Okay.
Mexico, right?
Have you been? Anywhere
No.
in Mexico?
No.
Have you? No. I went to Tulum. Do I speak a lick of Spanish? Heck no. But was I able to communicate in this current age? Yes. Guess what? Right here. Google Translate.
Yeah.
Speaking it.
That's exactly, that's
but
exactly what I was
remember,
about-
our continent, not everybody has the same.
Yes, but it is now that is easier to distribute among people than me going. You have my tribal language. Let's say I say today, Luo is the national tribal is the national language of. Will you choose to learn Luo because I said so?
I think so.
Yeah.
And why is that?
Because you're the dictator.
Thank you. Because I have forced you to learn it. But if I say, hey, how about this? Y'all speak English in your country, correct? I speak English. How about we keep your language? I keep my language. But guess what? Because I can give you this $1 and it is more than $10 in the United States, isn't that way much easier and way much luxuriable?
Also, one other thing we have to realize is that if you look at today as a whole, the different language has not stopped any barriers to trade. Has not caused any barriers to trade. Like growing up, like studying this, and when they look at like what are barriers to trade, one of the big things that comes up is communication. But then they tell you that globalization came and removed that. Technology came and removed that. Now you can transact with someone in China who only speaks Chinese and trade with them. You don't have to speak the language. So I don't think the language, having one language would be is an importance right now. I think the idea of the one currency offers more value to Africa than one language. I'm not saying that one language would be great, but if you were to look at which one offers more value to Africa as a whole, I think the one currency offers more value. Yeah.
At this point in life,
Yeah.
I would agree with
Yeah,
that.
I think-
100%.
I get it at this point, but you see the problem is at this point, the Western will not let us do that. So
Absolutely. The Western will not let any progress. Even the language, I guarantee you they won't.
Yeah.
the language we can make it happen on our own, because right now we're making progress. Remember, just the other day they were looking for a leader for the AAU, right? They were looking for a leader. So that leader, if he's a good person, again, remember, politics and corruption plays a big part, right? If it's a good leader, that's a person who's gonna set the example to the whole continent. You see what I'm saying?
True.
No, we're gonna take away from shit like the UN. What has the UN been doing for us for the last, I don't know, 30, 40, 50 years? Nothing. UN has been in Congolese for the last 40 years. What has happened to their country? Nothing. They've been at war. You see what I'm saying? So when these people come in and they generate the right shit, I'm telling you, there's going to be a big difference, because we start from somewhere. Like we mentioned earlier, Swahili is the most spoken language in Africa. If we keep pushing that shit, guess what? It's going to take over. If you want a better world, what are you going to do? You're going to sacrifice for a better world. I want to live better. So what am I supposed to do? Like right now, remember during COVID, they're telling you, if you want to live, if you want to survive, take the vaccine. People took that shit.
But again,
There was no
who was
research or
running
nothing.
the game though?
Huh?
You have to realize what power was running that.
No,
Right.
that's the Western. I'm giving an example in our own. In our own.
And that's what I'm coming to. So think about it this way, right? Actually, if there's any dialect that is spoken most in all of Africa, it's Arabic. We have more Muslims. Do you think the Western world would allow a whole continent to start speaking that? You think the US will allow a lot of people to start sounding like that?
That's our goal, to stop the Western. We don't care what they want or don't want. We care
They
about
will
ourselves.
come in regardless.
That's the point. When we have, as I said again, when we have the good leaders, remember, look at Burkina Faso, what they doing. We still have the Western, right?
And
Are they
I
successful
agree.
so far?
They are because of the small population.
It's cool, but that's a sign, right? That's a start off,
Oh, I agree.
right?
I agree with you.
There we go.
yes. But I'm just thinking, scale wise, if we're talking about continent as a scale wise, that I would not put that as the forefront fight.
This is what you're missing. Remember, everything starts small. There's nothing that just happened, boom, and then the whole world takes over.
That's true.
Everything starts small. Burkina Faso is the start off, and then it takes off. Everything starts like this. You were born like this. You're a baby like this. This is not how you were born.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Everything starts like this, and then it takes off. That's the start off. Ibrahim, he set the bar. Now we go higher. Our point is not to focus on the negative. Oh, it's not gonna work. You know what? They didn't know. He set the bar already. He already went against the West. He took out the French out. He's done it. So us is to follow. It's like, that's what we are right now? All right, nigga, we're going to the sky. The next guy will be like, all right, you at the sky? Now we're going to heaven. That's how we do it.
I do see your point. I'm not gonna say I do not see your point. I do see your point, and it is valid. But my caveat to it still will remain: Africa as a whole, we have too many tribes, and like Stacy pointed it earlier, too many cultures for them to drop it, to decide to pick one.
So you're basically telling them to
a
lose
magical
their
world,
identity.
Like it's like you're telling me to leave my identity
Yeah.
to adapt to this. And yes, let's even look at the Bible. Babylon.
You know, even before you finish that,
Yeah.
let me tell you what's so crazy, right? And this is us. This is speaking directly to us on this couch, right? We left Africa. When we left Africa, right now we don't look the same way as we looked when we left Africa. We adapted to what America looks like.
Because we had to survive.
No, we didn't. You didn't have to.
I definitely did have
No,
to.
you didn't have
I would
to.
have gotten beaten up as a child.
Exactly. You see that? You could have chose that route.
To get beaten up?
Yes.
beaten up?
It was a choice. It's a choice you made.
Who chooses?
Who chooses-
Exactly. Who chooses hurt? I'm not. Are you?
You see,
No.
that's the point. The point is there's a choice. There's a choice to make.
It's not a choice. It's called survival.
Yeah, no, I
No,
don't,
it's a
I don't
choice. Hold
think-
on. Let me finish. Let me finish real quick,
let it
right?
cook.
Let me finish real quick, right? The people back home right now in Africa, most of them want to live the way we live in America. They want to look like us.
Right?
They want to talk like us. They want to dress like us.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's not an African culture. That's American culture. I told you when I came to America, our women used to dress all the way to their toes. You could barely see their legs.
Time out. I still do.
In America, guess what's the fashion? Short dresses, booty shorts.
Can I ask you this?
It's not
Why do they
fashion.
want that? Why do they want that though?
It's not fashion. It's because America has sold sex. Their entire, literally, when you go into marketing or advertisement or any kind of field you're going into, the first thing they're going to do is tell you that sex sells. And that's why people choose to wear short dresses and crop tops and push-up bras. In Africa, it's more like a shameful thing. The first time I wore an anklet on my ankle, my mom asked me if I wanted to be a whore in the streets.
Yeah, thank you. Now you're proving my point. You see, in hip hop over here, they call it fashion.
Sexualizing women.
Yes, but they call it fashion. I mean, we got the magazines, we got the TV shows, we got the movies. You know what I mean? They call it fashion.
Right.
That's what they're watching. It has gotten so worse that everybody has their own social media. That's what they're posting and that's what they're looking at. You go to Africa right now, you're going to be confused who's American and who's African because they all look the same.
I agree with that. I agree in the sense of the
confused.
dress. It's talking about like the way they dress. If you go to Africa right now, you see a lot of people dressing the way people dress there in America.
Oh yeah. I get you. I get
That
you, I
is
get you.
true.
That's fair.
But again, I still stand on the point of why is the reason they're doing that is because guess who has flooded my view? America. If
Thank you.
Africa had the way to
That's why we have a platform. We try to change that narrative.
But again, still, let's go back to the initial point of this conversation is how does that make language the better?
I have a question for you, since you're the difference
Opposite.
between these two.
Yeah.
I have a
Thank you.
question.
I'm the op.
What are you wearing? What are you wearing on your wrist?
What I do what?
What are you wearing on your wrist?
Kenya.
Really?
That's the flag, yeah.
That's awesome. You
Yeah.
wear it every day, right?
Yes, every single day.
Are you proud to wear it every day?
Completely.
And now imagine somebody that does not live in your country, has no idea what your country's from, comes here and tells you, I need you to learn Kirundi, or else don't ever speak.
Or don't ever speak.
Or don't ever speak.
Okay, but is it gonna? Okay, if I learn whatever you try to make me learn, is it gonna benefit me anything?
How?
You don't know yet.
You don't know
don't know
yet.
yet.
You are going to have to find out.
You'll find out
You'll
once
find
you
out
learn.
once you understand it, and you can understand what they're teaching.
But you just told me I have to learn that, so you're not breaking all the information. So you leave me hanging.
This is a
What dictator
dictatorship.
ever does?
What dictator ever explained anything
See,
to
wait.
their people?
So you guys missed my point. Remember when I told you about the AU, the leader of, right? I told you when the leader comes in, he's the one who's breaking up everything. Because when you have a true leader, like the one from Burkina Faso, he's telling everybody in the country what's happening. He's not just making shit behind the scenes. I told you, I'm using him as the best example for Africa. He's telling everybody every single thing that's happening right now. Even he told them, even if the Western took him out right now, he has more people behind him that he has aligned to keep the same shit going.
Okay, let's actually look at that same guy, right?
Wait, before you finish.
Yeah.
Information. That's what I'm trying to tell you. The information. You let the people know. So if you come to me and tell me, okay, take this off,
not saying to take it off.
we're not gonna. Just an example. Take it off. We're not gonna use that anymore. But you're gonna find out next what's gonna happen. Now, you building me to rebel on what you're telling me because I don't know what the fuck is gonna happen next. But you give me information, be like, okay, if we do this, this is gonna happen. Now be like, oh shit, yes, I want peace. If you take this off, guess what? Now we're gonna speak Arabic. The whole Africa speak Arabic. I'll be like, all right, nigga say less. Take it off.
Okay, so now if you look at that same situation in Burkina Faso, right? I feel like you're looking at it more from the point of view of the people who didn't really speak French. If you look at it from the point of view, people who were French only speaking, and literally their president is telling them, we are no longer going to speak French. From those people's point of view, that president is a dictator. No matter what the end goal is, right? Even the ones the dictators, right? A good amount of the things that they do, that they enforce, is still for the better of the country. But because it's better for the country doesn't mean it's better for the people. That's one thing you have to realize,
I
right?
have a question. When he was like telling the people like we're no longer gonna speak French, we're only gonna speak English. Was he speaking it in English or French?
I think English.
Did
Probably.
he have a translator?
He would have to.
It would have to, yeah, because like there are literally people who only speak French.
Yeah.
Let me answer your question in simple words, right? Even when we come to I don't necessarily let me just say religion for the argument, for the simple argument. We have God and we have Satan. We have right and we have left. So meaning whatever we do in this life, it doesn't matter. There's always going to be someone who disagree with you. Everything is 50-50. You could be as right as you can be. There's always going to be someone who's going to left as it can be. That's why everything is separated. It's divided into two. You know what I mean? So there's no way you will lead everybody to come you the same way. There's no way we'll ever go on this earth. There will be 100% of people that will agree with you.
And I
It
agree
will
with
never
that.
happen.
I agree
You
with
know,
that.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we're not worried about the other people disagreeing. People disagreeing will always be there until the end of life.
But you have to worry about them if the people disagreeing will be
Is
in
a
the majority.
majority.
Because if you look at now the one is, let's say we pick Swahili, right? The people who already speak Swahili would definitely be in agreement. The people who do not already speak it, that's where the disagreement will come from.
And guess what? Of course, I agree. They'll feel like that. But when I told you, I mentioned this earlier. When something new is introduced, people don't understand it. So what's the first thing they will do? They will repel. They'll be like, oh, no, that's not the way we go. Because they're not used to this. This is something new. But once you see it happening and it makes sense, be like, oh, shit, that's the way to go.
So let me ask you, are you giving them a choice to learn that language, or they have to learn that language?
Now they have to learn that language because it's helping us. In our continent, we have so many languages that's not helping us. If we find a way that's really helping us, and I'm talking about from a genuine place of heart, not what's gonna just help me or my people, and then everybody else has to suffer. I'm talking from a perspective where everybody has to win. Then we have to learn that because everybody has to win.
So basically, they have to learn it even if they don't want to.
Because I'm telling you, they refuse to that because it's something new to them.
Can I ask you a question?
Before you ask,
Sorry.
just last year, and this is how bad it is, right? Just last year in my country, we had a flood, right? Rain came in and places were flooding, right? Poor places, there's so much water in those places, and they were being told, you know what? You guys have to move away from this place. We're gonna build another area for you guys to move to, so you can live over there. Because this means anytime it rains, this is gonna be the same result, meaning you guys will die. And the same guys are refusing to move. They're like, all our lives we've lived here. We can't move. Do you see how stupid it sounds? And these are the same people crying for help. I'm telling you, this area is now good. It's a flood area, meaning there's no solution to this. The only solution we have, you have to move to a different area. And once you move to a different area, you're gonna live a better life. But you telling me I've lived here my whole life, this is all I know, I can't move. And guess what? You're not moving because you deaf.
Again, apples to oranges here.
Yeah, but go on.
So, okay, before I ask you my question, the reason I say apples to oranges is this. The example you give, that is life at hand. If I don't move, I die. Just the same way, if I don't eat, I die. Let me ask you this.
No,
With
you
Burkina
see,
Faso.
with eating, you have options. There's some other shit you can eat.
But in general, if I don't eat, I die. That's just basic science. Let me ask you this question.
Until that
With
lady came
Burkina
out. You see the
Faso-
lady who came out, she was not in for years?
That's different. Cat, I'm sorry. I don't know your whole story, but okay.
She has
Couple
not eaten
days
in
before you
public, is
die.
what she
It-
means.
My guy. Let me ask you this. With Burkina Faso, them removing, so they did not say stop learning French or start speaking French. They removed French from their national language. With them removing that, what advantage did Burkina Faso get?
Before I answer that, I'm pretty sure when they say stop learning French or stop using French, I'm pretty sure they're not learning that shit anymore because it comes from the oppressor. I'm pretty sure you're not gonna find a school teaching French right now in that country.
But it is a okay. With the okay, if that is the case, what advantage does the country get?
As far as what?
Me stop speaking French. What advantage do I get?
We're not using the same thing the oppressors made us use. Now we're gonna start our own. So
True.
now we're gonna create our own.
So it just makes me feel good.
Us feel good, not you. Us.
Again, just feel good. But economically, physically, it does nothing. to
Yes, it
improve
does.
What?
Have you seen Burkina Faso lately?
No. But that's not based off of them removing French as a
that's-
language.
but-
That
no,
is based
other
off
things.
of other things like economic growth, bringing more companies within the country.
Remember, don't even worry about other people come to the country. They worry about themselves. They number one.
No, I'm saying companies. They increase the trade. They increase the economic. The
Cool.
GDP went up because of the money they brought
They can
in.
increase that. But us, we can get along. Now, when you come to the tribalism shit, it's out the way because we all speaking the same shit. Let's say, for example, for us, obviously for you, say you speak a lot of languages in Nigeria, right? When it comes to election time, the tribe that has the biggest number of people, that's what they try to go at
Yeah.
the first, right? You see what I'm saying? So when we speak one tribe, we eliminate that.
Okay, and again, you used Burkina Faso as a staple, and I respect what he did. But again, my point still comes down to, with them removing French from their language, yes, it stops the language barrier from people who only speak English and people who speak French. How does that help the country grow? How? Like what can you go statistically and look, okay, we removed French, this grew. Because guess what? Everything they were doing before, they will keep doing. If since I was a kid, I learned French, I'm still gonna speak French to any if he knows French. If I come to the Western world and Stacy speaks French, guess what I'm gonna speak? French. We might understand each other in English, but I'm still going. It is deep rooted within me. I'm just not going to speak it at home, but I'm still going to speak it.
Which at that point that becomes a bigger issue where you are not free in your own home
Right.
to express yourself. And I think that really is the idea of the one language is an amazing idea. My only problem to it is that the
Divide.
divide it will create, the divide and the hatred. Because to achieve that, if we're being honest, to achieve that, you're going to have to enforce it.
Yeah.
That's the only way you can achieve it, because countries, not just people, countries will not accept it. You would have to enforce it.
You know what country did that? I'm pretty sure in South Africa, when South Africa was colonized, they tried to keep like Afrikaans everywhere. Like people weren't allowed to speak like other languages in South Africa. And if you are like caught speaking that in public, you were like put into jail. Or like just like Nelson Mandela tried to do a movement. Like anytime somebody tries to change the system, yeah, it looks good and it sounds good on paper, but give it a couple years, give it a couple months and see what happens. Right now it sounds good and it looks good, but like we don't know the long-term effects it's going to have on that country.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, and I get it. But I look at a bigger perspective because remember when the oppressors came to our country, our continent, they understood what language could do to us, and that's why they made sure we could be divided. There's a reason why we are the way we are. Think about it. Even look at America, look at Africa. Just for me to move from one country to another country, I need a passport and a visa. And yet in America, we can move as free as you want to. So there's a reason why they're doing that. They made sure we could be divided. And this is the thing I'm trying to make you guys understand. You know what I mean? Like when we speak this language, we can everything becomes a lot easier. To me, the world is like we were born into a world where it's tough. It's up to us to make it easier. So everything we're speaking about is a million times harder, but it's for us to make it easier. Yeah, you understand me? I'm not saying like we can just get up tomorrow and be like, yo, let the whole Africa speak Swahili, and then everybody be like, all right, cool, nigga, we in here, like, yeah, Swahili is the new shit. It's of course it's of course, it's hard. It's a challenge. You know what I mean? And that's why we live every day. You wake up in the morning, there's a new challenge you have to fight. But this is a fight that is gonna bring a lot of peace, a lot of harmony to us, all of us. Yo, Martin Luther King did it. The shit he was doing, it was hard.
He was got
Yeah,
killed.
it was life was on the line. You know what I mean? These people did it. You know what I mean? So just I'm saying we can try and make this shit happen. It's not easy, but we can do it. I'm just saying, Burkina Faso guy, Ibrahim, he has shown us it's doable.
Yeah, yeah. You make a good point. I will say you do make a good point, and it is a valid argument and a statement that is can be used for, you know, a way to move forward. Um, but the first thing we need to do as a people, man, take all these people who are sitting in power right now, take them out in every country.
Put them in lions. Den.
Thank you. Lock them up.
Turn it to a TV series. Put them in safari.
Throw them in
in
the
the wild.
sabo.
Politicians in the wild. Survival of the politician.
Hey, whoever comes on top, you can run the shit.
Very true, man. But we can do it, and I believe like this is a change right here.
Yeah.
This stuff we're talking about. When they watch it, they'll understand it, they will say it, and hopefully someone else will be like, you know what, the shit they talking about is something we can also implement as far as they can with their power. Because power starts from somewhere small. It's not. There's no power that starts from the top to the. I mean, it's from down going up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's what I believe in. I'm telling you, that's my belief, man.
agreed.
I keep saying him because we had this discussion in our episodes earlier, and I told him, man, I want to see change in our country. And at that time, we never knew anything about Burkina Faso. Now we know. Our aim was for our country, or at least our leaders, to be like Burkina Faso. Guess what? Now we have an example. We have someone who can point to be like, why can't we be like him or them? Why not?
I think you know what? If one of the big countries follows suit and they do that, like let's say for instance, like Nigeria, he is right. Nigeria is a giant. Like we know everything. Like everything we do is quote unquote Nigerian based. Music, food, fashion. Come on. It is what it is. Right? Let's call a spade a spade. It is just the truth, right? So like imagine if Nigeria was to follow suit in what Burkina Faso did. Oh, 100%. 100%. Boom. And talking of, they're not doing this, but Ghana has done their own spin.
Yeah.
Ghana has given 10 African Americans. There are 10 African Americans that went to Ghana. They got their
land.
visa, right? They gave them land, 300 acres, and told them, build a town. We're going to give you 10 years. Make it as developed as you want. Bring people from your country. Bring them over. Your doctors, your engineers, your lawyers. Make it as profitable as you can. And if in 10 years it increases our value, we'll give you an extra 300 acres to continue building your town.
That's like a live Sims simulation.
Literally. And it is what, like right now, they are building two of the tallest skyscrapers in Africa.
Do they need a woman to come there as well?
Hey, you just gotta apply.
I'm gonna put in my application.
You
No,
wanna
no.
go?
Ghana is definitely a African country to watch right now.
Yeah.
It's Ghana's going to be the tech hub of Africa.
Yeah.
I agree.
And I think is it Ghana? What country in Africa that created their first electric car?
I think
I
Zimbabwe.
just saw it the other day.
Uganda or Zimbabwe?
Zimbabwe.
Yeah, the first electric car ever created in Africa.
See, our problem in Nigeria is it's just the corruption because we've had young people create prototypes of cars and different things that don't require that much, but no one to invest in them. This is one of the I just realized, and I think I don't know if every other African country is like as corrupt as we are because like in Nigeria our corruption kills our innovation so much. I was just reading this yesterday, and one of the richest man in the UK is a Nigerian. He owns like 10 airports in Europe. Like there are you see a lot of like people who left Nigeria and they are doing great in other countries. And the question is, why are they not doing great in Nigeria, or why are they not doing great in Africa? Because their innovation is being killed.
100%.
You need people to support you. You need people. You need resources to carry and to work on your innovation. But like, it's not there. They're not being given to you because like the politicians who are supposed to provide all these things, they are too focused on filling their pockets. So if Nigeria is going to get to the point where they do that, we first have to move, and which is why I said earlier that it's going to take, just like you said, our generation and the one after us that will be able to make that change. Even if we want to talk about the language, I think that would be possible with our generation and the next generation because we have been exposed to other African countries to realize that, okay, if we work together, we will grow. Because the older generations...
Let me ask you something you just mentioned real quick. You say the richest Nigerian is in Europe?
No, one of the richest man in Europe is a Nigerian.
Is in Nigeria, right? And he still wants resources?
He
still wants resources because
no.
He's the plug.
Yeah. Well, he left the country, right? So as far as he is concerned, he is there. He's not. I mean, he has a name,
But he probably
he's
doesn't
there.
even consider himself as
Yeah.
a Nigerian citizen, does he?
Yeah, because
But okay, this is my question then. Do you think if he wants to do anything in Nigeria as a country for the country to move forward, he can be able to do it?
he can, but the current system will not. There are a lot of people who have tried to invest back into Nigeria, but like for example, let me give you a perfect example of this. During COVID, Nigeria received COVID relief funds and provisions
From the
and
West,
supply
right?
from the West.
Yeah,
That didn't get to any Nigerians.
of course.
What happened?
Guess what? Us too.
Yeah, a few years.
The
next year.
Oh,
Yeah. So the next year, I think some people were raiding a warehouse.
Vibes.
So I think a few months after, during COVID, towards the end of COVID,
I'm out.
we had a bunch of youth that got hungry, that they were starving and everything. They raided a warehouse, and what did they see? They literally saw all those provision. It literally had a label in there, COVID relief provision.
They found it.
A politician got the people who received it kept it in a warehouse with the intention of holding it until election, so they could bring it out and give it to the people as it's from them, and people be like, "Wow, look at what they did for us. Let's vote for them."
Okay.
So like the idea of like people, putting it, there are people who actively try to do that, but a lot of people get discouraged because unless you are on the ground building those resources yourself, it's not going to work.
Okay. I get exactly what you're saying, but I'm saying my point is this guy has all the resources he needs. It's him he chooses not to, for whatever reason.
Yeah.
It's him he chooses not to.
Could it be fear? Could also.
That's what I'm saying. It could be anything. That's what I'm saying. But I'm pointing fingers to him. It's him.
Let me ask you. Think about it this way. Like even back home. I mean, if I was to ever become wealthy here, inshallah, if I become wealthy here, right? The minute I honestly step home and I go,
Oh my god.
the minute I step home and I go, you know what, man, a mental hospital here would be amazing. It can do wonders. Or I go, you know, those women right there, they have not been in school, and I feel like, okay, let me provide a way that it can be a women's shelter, because we know how back home, let's be honest, we know how home women are treated. Rape cases are off the roof. Mistreatment, it's just so unbearable. Children, right? And not even trying to be sexist, men, right? There's a lot of shit that men back home that they go through that us we look back home when we were being taught was, oh man, you're a guy, toughen it out.
Stop in the land.
Toughen it out, right? So it becomes a system where it's like, how can if I decide to go in, I've made my money here, I've become wealthy, and I want to make it big. The minute I get home, who's this guy? Yeah, he's an American. He's a Kenyan. Yes, we know he has a Kenyan name, but this one is an American. He wants to become a politician. He wants to become the president. Guess what? This nigga's gonna shoot me. The minute I step in the country, I am toast.
Then why don't you just be transparent that you don't want to be a part of the government?
It doesn't matter. To them, they look at it as a form of deceit. Like me, actually, the minute I go and say, I want to do this, but I'm not standing, oh no, you're a whole liar.
Then do it without a face, anonymously.
The person I put up,
No, I didn't say put up a person.
how am I going to build? Somebody has to sign for that land, for that building. Somebody has to show those fundings.
You just employ people without them knowing
They
who you
gonna
are.
get killed because they would
Someone-
think they are.
Yeah,
Somebody has to be. They run around it, honestly, at this point, is to use a politician to do it.
What politician's gonna listen to you?
Thank you very much. That is the big question. That's the big question.
A volunteer's tribute.
Hey, come on, Hunger Games. Come on, Hunger Games. I'm here for it. Wow. It's midnight?
Yeah, it's midnight. I was
Yes,
looking at the
mate.
time. Almost 4 hours.
I was like, it's midnight. I got to go back home.
Do you?
No, I just want to call my man. That's not my man. That's not my man.
She has a man, y'all.
I don't have a man.
You already liked it. I'm sorry if y'all watch
He's not-
this
it's not
episode.
gonna be-
If y'all watch this episode, she
This
take
is
it.
not. This is not gonna be in
She
the
got a
episode.
means. We've been for 4 hours, brother.
I got a question for you, right?
Let me please cut out the part that I said I have a man. Yes, sir.
I got a question for you, right? You mentioned something about fear, right?
Yeah.
Fear. Think about this. Don't you think the president of Burkina Faso right now has fear?
He's a military general.
It doesn't matter.
He has a control.
No.
No. He has control.
No, sir.
He has fear from the Western world, but he has control.
He has what?
Fear from the Western world.
Thank you. That was my question. Don't you think he has
Absolutely.
fear?
Absolutely that. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So if you're a billionaire, like he mentioned earlier, that guy in Nigeria has resources. He's a billionaire.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So fear should not be a factor, because regardless of what, fear is always going to be in there. Even Trump right now, if you saw Trump's interview before he became the president last year, he was asked that question. Don't you have fear? After he got shot, remember?
Oh my God.
Skill.
That was such a hoax.
Yeah, they just asked him, okay, so right now, don't you have fear what's going to happen to you next? Because being a president, then Trump was like, guess what? What happened to me before? They shot me in tunnel right here. I'm a president right now. Don't you think I have more enemies outside of America?
Yeah, and you know what those enemies can do? Nothing.
Oh, yes, they can do something.
No, they cannot.
Yes, they can.
Absolutely, brother. The American who protects the president, they can. Nobody. If they could, Putin would have already done it. Let me explain to you.
Wait a second. The guy got shot last year, right?
And I'm telling you, he was not the president. I'm telling
No,
you.
no, no, no. He
First
was
of
a
all,
former president. You can just say he was not a president. The
I
name
get
president was still
that.
there.
True, but I'm telling you, let me tell you, he might have enemies outside this country, and Ini can tell you this. This boy reads that like a cookbook. Nobody is going to try and take Trump's life. That is someone
No,
that's
that's
not
the person-
American. Heck no.
They,
The amount of details that goes, like him being in public, the amount of inspection that goes into any place he is before he shows up there.
I understand that, but this is what you have to understand in this world. See, the good thing I like, the good thing I like about media, it sells fear and impossible things that you think nobody's untouchable and nobody can touch you, nothing can happen to you. I'm telling you, when you live in this real world, anybody's touchable. Have President America before died? Have they been shot before?
Yes.
Thank you. So I'm telling you, if she's to go down, it's gonna go down.
Okay. Let's say this. America has had how many presidents? This is 48.
47.
No.
This is
No,
number.
no, it's 47,
Is number
but-
47.
Yeah.
But no, it has not been 47 because most of them have been 2 terms.
Okay, but in general, right? And how many of those presidents have been assassinated?
One. Yeah.
Or 2 Abraham Lincoln.
Since JFK was the last one. Since JFK, the next attempt to assassination was Trump when he was not sitting. You get what I'm saying? I'm not saying it is impossible. I'm just saying the probability is 0.000.
Let me ask you this: before that shit happened to Trump, has that happened before?
JFK.
No. Of someone who's not even a president.
Were a political candidate, yes.
Has that happened before?
Yeah.
How many
yeah.
times?
I don't know how many. But just to his point is that the amount of secret service that goes into the president is different from someone who's not. I mean, yes, you are the ex-president, but at the same time, you are not
The president.
Yeah, of course. But you still are president.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? All right, remember, the people also close to you are capable of doing the same shit to you.
They're
Yeah.
capable,
Yes.
but they also just go through the same scrutiny.
It's okay. That's what I'm telling you. You banking on a human being. And human being can always, if your wife can turn against you, my guy, the same woman that sleeps on the side of your bed every single day, the mother of your kids can turn on you. My guy, welcome to the real world. We live in a world where
I
you
hear
can.
you,
Yeah,
brother. I'm
come
just
on, man.
saying.
I'm telling you, he's touchable.
When he comes to the United States, there's a couple things you don't mess with: the president and the military. There's a reason why this amount of money literally put aside for those two.
I'm not refusing to that, but I'm telling you, the thing about that is what they tell us, so we can have that fear.
You don't think it's like that? You think it's exaggerated?
Yes,
Because
even the guy,
you to a military man.
I'm
there.
telling you, of course. Again, I told you, it's what they tell you. I'm telling you, even that guy can just say, those Secret Service guy, they can turn one day, be like, fuck this, and do it.
Okay, so one thing I will agree with you is in terms of the information of what they tell us and what actually is. But let me start with the Secret Service one. Yes, it's possible from what you're saying, where his wife, the vice president, someone can turn against him. Yes, it would literally have to be an inside. Or let's put it this way, an external. It is almost impossible for an external party to come and harm the sitting president. It is extremely possible for an inside party, the vice president, his wife. It is extremely possible because then the security checks that they do on those ones are less. So if they wanted to, the vice president is close and he can do it. So yes, you are right in that sense where the people who are close to him, if they wanted to, it's possible. It is unlikely, but it's possible. So in that part, I agree with you.
That's the same thing how they killed Martin Luther King. It is him. There's someone who was close to him that killed him.
MLK.
MLK.
Yeah.
There's someone that's close to him that killed him. That's how it always happens. That I'm telling you, there's nobody who's untouchable. All right.
Untouchable. I agree.
Okay, there's this guy whose name Saitori is one of the top guys in our country. I was watching the story behind him. It was like this guy is a top guy, right, in the government. But before his final days, he was living in fear. Why would you live in fear if you believe nobody can touch you? That's what I'm telling you. This shit, if you watch this series they be having on Netflix, how presidents live their life, you'll understand. Even them, they live in fear. Anybody's touchable, man. You can't trust anybody. Just because they protect you doesn't mean they
And
can.
he made a good point.
I mean,
Internally, yes.
it doesn't matter
Yes.
internally. The point is
Externally,
touchable.
no, I'm saying the initial question when you said it was
even
someone
if you
of
say
outside the
internally,
different
right?
country.
You'll find that internally connection come from the outside. Not every time, but
Nah,
sometimes
I
they
hate
come
you,
from the
yeah.
outside.
Yeah. I mean, 'cause if you look at it, right, JFK, that was an American. It wasn't like an external country or something.
Yeah.
Abraham Lincoln too, it was the same, an American. So yeah, in the sense of internally, yeah, if we're looking at it from like Putin or like another country or those trying to
Yeah, it's
that's why I
different.
say it's almost impossible for that to happen.
yeah.
So yeah, in a way you are right in that sense.
Yeah.
So yes, I agree.
I am that nigga.
Man, you have had us here for 4 hours. Golly, Lemmy.
Yeah, you got
Every time we come through is 3+.
Yeah, I asked you earlier, you got anything for the night? It's like, nah, we good tonight. It's like, yeah, then let's get it in.
We midnight hours now.
All right, what else you want to talk about for the next 10 minutes before it's actually 4 hours?
Now, so the last time I came here, I started something.
Of course,
okay?
you're studying something.
But Lemmy, I don't think he has carried it on.
Yo, listen, before you finish, let me cut you off for a second, right? Let me cut you off for a second. Actually, I was meant to say this before anything, and I forgot. This is the thing, right? And I remember I told you when we did that the first time, I was like, yo, I'm going to keep doing this as we go forward. I run into people that never liked that shit. And then I also met into people that were like, they were too serious about their life. So it just felt so uncomfortable. You know what I mean? It's like, shit, I can't really say this shit to these people. So I was like, damn, man. So to me, it looked like he was gonna be inconsistent. It's like, okay, one show I can do this, the next show I can't do this. So I was like, what the fuck, man? You know what I mean? It didn't seem as something that could have been consistent. You know what I mean? But when we did it, it seemed normal. Like it seemed
Very
the shit to
fluent,
do
yeah.
exactly. It seemed some shit to do it, man. But I had so many people over here that they're older also. I mean, their family and shit. Like even for me, I felt uncomfortable asking those questions. Like, damn, nigga, I'm not even gonna
Are you
ask
guys
that
gonna
shit,
tell
man.
us what you guys are
But
talking
I mean, for this show, we can do it though. Y'all got good energy though.
I called it hot topic.
Yeah,
Right.
Y'all got
So
good
I call
energy.
well not hot topic. I called it hot take.
You was doing hot takes with your grandmother?
Hot.
What?
And you know what's so funny? Before we started the show, I was about to ask you that.
Yeah.
That was the thing. My mom was like, "Did you come with that shit?" It took a lot. Like, you probably had that shit.
So it's like hot take. So it's like you think of. So when we first did it, it was just two of us, right? So I thought about. I think we did 5 questions. Sorry, and whatever questions he did not answer, he took a shot.
Oh wow.
Right? And whatever question I didn't answer, I took a shot. And you can go, I mean, the spectrum is think as crazy as you want to go. Right? So now that y'all are two here,
And
we can
we
do.
won't be able to take a shot.
No.
Y'all can drink as much juice as you want to. No, they
I'm gonna
can
make
drink
it
all the
better.
water.
No. I'm gonna make it better. They get to ask you a hot take. If you don't answer, you take your shot. You get to ask them. If they don't answer, I'll take the shot.
What about you?
You already asked me my hot takes.
Nah, nigga, it's gonna be more.
No. You guys
There's a
play it.
Let's go
How
more.
about yeah,
guys
no.
play and
You
we
guys
observe.
play then we observe.
No. But no, it gotta be.
We can chime in. We can
everybody.
chime in. We
can't
can
just-
chime
you
in.
can't just- So how about this? Since you're on the same couch, right?
Yeah.
You will ask me.
Yeah.
If I don't answer, I pick it up. Then Stacy's on my side.
Yeah.
You ask him. so that we are
Okay.
all involved in it.
Okay, I like that better.
How about that?
I
Yeah.
like that better. But in the end, it's just me and you drinking.
It sucked that part, but yeah. How about that?
How about they drink juice?
Let me Google my questions.
That's exactly what I'm doing.
Wait a minute. They can drink juice.
They can drink juice, but they know the questions. You remember how?
No, but we can ask them something. They can drink juice.
Oh, hey, we can flow with that too.
Yeah. They can, everybody has to be guilty, man. Come on, man. Not just me and you.
Okay, what do you guys? What is your like understanding of hot take?
You ask any question on the planet Earth. You have no filter. You can ask whatever.
Okay.
I have a question from ChatGPT.
Wait, what was that chick that went crazy? They used to do hot take. The black chick.
I can't remember. I know
Simone?
exactly.
No, not her.
No. Oh, I see the face too.
I saw the face too. I can't remember the name.
Oh, this is gonna bother me. Damn, that's gonna bother me. But yeah, go ahead, round it up.
Okay, Innie's first.
Am I asking or am I taking the outtake?
You're asking me.
Okay. Let's see what ChatGPT said.
I have a good one.
Does social media connect us or isolate us?
Isolate us.
Explain.
So pretty much, I think social media has created a division on how we view everything, starting from personal.
Wendy
relations-
Williams.
Wait, what's going on?
I say, pardon?
Right.
Wendy, shout out to you, man. I know
Shout out Wendy.
Yeah, she has a lot going on right now.
Wendy
but shout out to you,
Williams.
Wendy. Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
I don't watch TV.
I was gonna do the meme, but I can't do that.
You can't do that.
I can't
Wait,
do that.
do the meme.
I'll tell you later.
No, she got a lot going on right now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
leave her alone.
the reason I said
Leave
isolate,
alone.
if you think about it, right? Let's start with as simple as platform, relationship. How a lot of men view women and how women view men. We have come to this position where it's like this gotta happen for this to follow through, and there's so much expectations, and it's moved from the idea of just love your person for who they are. Simple as that. And so it has created that division among people and among simple things that used to be very genuine and straightforward.
Nice. All right, Stacy, you're up.
Okay. Are you ready? Okay. You seem to be really focused. Okay. Do you think traditional masculinity is under attack or is it evolving for the better?
Oh, it's under attack. All the way, man. Oh my God. My man out there. Yo, I know you're coming. Yo.
Release the beast.
Exactly. I know you can fail me on this one, man. Of course, yeah, it's under attack.
Why do you say that?
All the way, man. Of course, you've seen when femininity come into the picture, man. A lot of women don't agree with what we have going on, man. And I don't even want to go too deep on this. Because I know they're gonna be coming on me on the comments, man.
It's a hot take.
It's a hot take.
Exactly, it is a hot take, man. But I'm gonna just agree to that one. Yeah, it is under attack, man. I'm gonna just leave it at that, man.
No answers? I thought you were the brave one.
I know.
I thought. What happened?
She got you there.
But that's a subject for a different episode. I want to have that as a whole topic.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. No shots. Innie, your turn.
Well, he said that we gotta ask. So I'll ask you, then you ask.
my
And
bad.
then you don't answer. You take your juice, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Your red cup drink. Your red
Okay, yeah.
cup drink.
Red
I have my
cup
red
drink.
cup.
Okay? So, Ini, do you think the idea of open relationship is the new version of what polygamy is? And if so, is it right or not?
I think I agree that it's a new version of polygamy. I don't think it's right. I think if you want to sleep around do what you want to do, but I don't think calling it a healthy form of relationship is a good way to go about it, right? Everyone is free to do what you want to do, but don't deceive yourself while trying to do what you want to do. It's not a healthy form of relationship, right? If you want to, have intercourse with several people, feel free to do it. Don't try and justify it and make it seem like the new thing or something that's healthy. Well, yeah.
That's Nigerian nice for y'all.
Nigerian nice.
Yeah, that's good. I like that. I like that. Shit. Let me see what I can ask you. Damn. Cool. I got one.
Okay.
All right, cool.
Scared.
So, do you think men are the prize or women are the prize?
I know her answer.
What's gonna be my answer?
Oh, I know this answer. Oh,
What is my answer gonna
hey,
be?
go ahead.
What do you think my
Let
answer's
us know.
gonna be?
Let us know.
What was your question again? I'm sorry.
Do
They're
you
loud
th-
mouths.
All right. Do you think men or women are the prize?
Do you think women or men are the prize?
Who's the prize? Is it the
Who is the-
men or the women?
Have you read your Bible? It says a man who finds a wife finds a good thing. So I think women are the prize. It's women. Or do you think it's men? You see how he's swinging his feet? Happy?
Talk to her.
Or do you think men are the prize?
I think men are the prize right now in this society, man.
In this society? What society do you live in? I think we live in different societies.
It could be, but in the society that I'm looking at right now, if you go into the date scene right now, it's like, okay, when you date a good woman, right? Most women are looking for a man who can really provide, right? It's like he has the all nine.
Okay.
You know what I mean? A woman does not want to date a guy who's still in the progress of getting there. He wants the guy who's there already. You know what I mean? So that makes that guy the prize because he has it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No.
No, I'm not gonna disagree. We live in completely two different societies. What you deem as a prize might be different from what I deem as a prize.
Okay, what do you see as a prize?
To me, I think, what do you want? Like your ideal, like your end goal in this life. What is it? What is it?
No, that's me. What's your prize?
No, I'm asking you.
No, hold up. You're not asking me. You asked me, but you're not asking my question. I
I'm
asked
trying
what's
to
your
answer your
prize.
question by letting you answer your own question.
No, it's
When men are put on this earth and they're going to work, they're going to school, all they talk about is building a generational wealth, building a legacy for themselves, leaving something on this earth to represent them.
Okay.
Are you guys going to impregnate each other and then leave each other's children here?
Hey,
I don't
can I play devil's
Yeah.
advocate?
of
Can
course.
I jump in
Of-
there?
Anybody can jump in.
Yeah.
Then if I'm being devil's advocate, it's
Okay.
2025, bro. So actually, the
Who's
other
going to be
day,
a surrogate? Another male?
but why? For me to pick a surrogate, it can be any woman of my choosing.
Yeah.
Does that make her the prize?
She's not. That's untraditionally.
I
That's
agree.
untraditionally.
You said,
Where's-
what is our purpose as men? To have somebody generational.
Wealth and leave a staple back on earth when you guys leave. You know,
Right.
because eventually you guys all die. We all die.
I agree.
Let
And
me
so,
let me say that the way you just so the reason why your statement doesn't has no value is that the same thing you said, if you flip it around, it goes the other way. How would the woman make a child without the man?
But when women talk about dating or like finding a man, they don't talk about, oh, like I want, like they're always focused on finding love. Women always want to find
they
love.
don't focus on building a
They
family.
They do focus on building a family.
Okay.
But ideally, when I speak to girls and they talk to me, all they want to do is find love.
Well, see, no, I disagree in that. And the
You always
reason why you
disagree
just said
with me.
something that makes it the other way, because
Okay.
at no point in a man's life of him going old will he ever say, I need to go get married, time is running out. I need to have a child, time is running out. No point in a man's life will he say that.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we,
I've heard a
that's
couple.
not that is not
No.
our thing. We just
But at a certain point in a woman's, and everyone knows it, the thoughts in my head, in their head, would be, or in the thoughts in the lady's head would be, okay, I'm running out of time. I need
get
to
married.
get someone, settle down, and have kids. But the man can be 60 years old and be like, I still have some time. Maybe in 5 years I can do that. So now,
the
in that
brother
sense,
is vital.
yeah.
Yes.
So also,
Okay.
before we get to the conversation of that, I also do want to point out that I do believe that the idea of someone being the prize is the most stupidest thing ever.
It
Thank
is.
Doesn't
It
make any
is.
sense.
Yeah.
But hold up, I just want to ask. I want to add to our question, right? Even right now, shit is gone so ridiculous. Like they have all this technology coming in with women as robots giving birth.
Hey,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they even, like you say, women. We want to have women as a prize so they can give birth. It's like it's being eliminated. Like get the hell out of here. So who's really the prize then?
You're the one who asked the question.
I was
And
asking
I was
you.
supposed to give you the answer.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think women are the prize because I love women, and they're great.
To me,
so is your answer biased?
It is biased because I'm a
Also-
woman.
No,
It's
no,
always
I'm,
gonna
I'm,
be
no, I'm
biased.
saying like it's the bias based of just the fact that you're human, or is it because
it's the truth or facts.
you value
These are
it
not
that-
facts that are coming out of my mouth. I did not do research because men are also great in every aspect, but I also love women and I speak for women a lot of the time because I know the pain we go through every single month. I know what our mental health has gone through. I know how we feel when we're let down by other men or even like other women per se. So I can only speak from a woman's perspective because I've never been a man before.
And I like
she
that.
She said the most important
Yes,
point.
I like that
speak
answer.
on it from
A woman's perspective,
perspective,
yes.
not from
That one,
I know shit.
I salute
which
you.
is the problem that
I did want to say, because I know we're already out of time, but even if you're looking at it from the science perspective of who should be the prize, look at where life comes from. It's not from the egg. The egg is not the life in the equation. The egg is not what has the life. It's the
has
thing
the-
that comes from the man that has
It's
the
a
life.
thing? What is it the thing called?
The sperm is what has the life. I'm trying to keep it PG here, you know. But,
PG?
yeah, but it's.
We passed PG.
I know,
PG,
I know.
brother.
But
I know,
in
I'm-
sense, in the sense, it's the sperm that has the life, not the egg. So if you are looking at it from that perspective, then the man is the valued one, not necessarily the woman. Which at the end of the day, I still think that the idea of price is stupid. But if you're
Yeah.
looking at it and saying, okay, who actually brings the value, it would be the one that brings the life.
And you know what's crazy? In the Bible, it also says like I'm not to defend you guys. I also love women, but in the Bible, it also says that in the family, the man is the head and the woman is the rest of the body.
You know, the
The
tail.
head tells you everything the
Facts.
body should be.
That's facts.
And even if you flip it into a tree, like
yeah,
the head is the seed and the tree is the woman.
facts that. One more because I know it's about around time.
I
Oh,
could
is
have
that
gone
the
to
first time?
politics with that one,
Johnny-
but
Johnny's
anyways,
already
go.
calling.
Anyway,
Is
go
it-
ahead. Huh?
We're doing one more round and then call
One
it.
more?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so I'm gonna start it. You go, then you go, then you finish. Right? Here we go. Ini. With the idea of you probably not seen it because you don't watch this show, but never mind. Let's say money was not an object, okay, and you and your current partner, what is the three most important things that you would say would hold to your relationship till the end of time?
Three most important thing. I mean, there are different ways to answer that, right? You could go for the basic thing shelter, food, clothes. But that's not the answer you're looking for, right? Um, Three most important thing. If I'm being honest, the one of the most important thing would be health. And the reason why I say that is any other thing that you can think of would be useless and pointless without good health. So the most important thing would be health, right? Um, the second most important thing, I'll say communication, which is not something you can buy, right? So money is not even a factor there.
Okay.
So health, communication, and if I'm being what's the word? Selfish, I would say fitness. Health, communication, and fitness is what I would say for the three things that I think.
Why didn't,
Hold on, what
why
was the
didn't we
question?
think about that?
Do you think love is important in your relationship? Is it the more without love can your relationship still survive?
Remember that women that like you will watch this.
Can I add to it as
Yeah,
well?
yeah.
You said without
Do you think without love your relationship will still survive?
I think so.
Do I think without love, a relationship would survive? Yes. And the reason for that is I think the idea of or what people regard as love now has been watered down a lot, that people don't really understand what it means to love someone, right? Um and I think I had this conversation with you one day when I was saying that it's a different thing to
Really like someone.
love someone and to be in love with someone.
Come on now.
Um,
Come on now.
Yes.
Casta ini.
But the question is just love. It's not about love
Yeah.
or in love.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
love.
Yeah.
Is love
so
enough?
I think love. My answer would be no.
Okay. Respectful.
Let me add to that one.
Yeah.
I think yes. Yes, it can coexist because love to me is an emotion. Today I can love you more, tomorrow I can love you less, but it doesn't change anything. We still live in the same house, we're still doing the same thing we're doing, but it's an emotion. You know what I mean? There's some days you wake up in the morning you feel sad. There's some days you wake up in the morning you feel happier. So it's just an emotion, so it can coexist. So just because I love you less today doesn't mean we can coexist or we can't do the things we need to do.
Can I add on something?
Yeah.
Shoot.
I was talking to a friend, and it was a male friend, and they were talking about how love is just for the woman. Love is when they tell you I love you, it's for you. It's for the woman's feelings. It's never for the man's feelings. As long as you take care of a man and you respect them and you give them peace, they're gonna tell you what you want to hear. I love you. But to them, it's like you're giving me peace. You're giving me all this. You're making my life easygoing. So yes, I want you in my life, but ideally, a man can live without love for the longest.
In a way, I agree with that.
I
think
agree with that.
peace is more.
Peace is more important than love. Yeah.
And I'm telling you, the amount of times I've had this conversation a lot, especially with like male friends, and the one word that comes up the
Is peace.
most often is peace.
Yeah.
And a lot of women don't get it.
You know what? I agree to you. I agree to that to a certain extent, but never. This is the thing you have to understand: what men can do for their love, for their mother. It goes back to love. Men will literally break this house down into pieces just to save their mother or their family member. So love still plays a part of it. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Yeah, not in love, but love. My mama is in there. I'm going to go through the wall just to save her life. I'm going to run through the rain. It's raining crazy, but I'm going to get to the car just to save my mama. That's what men can do. So that's what I'm saying. I will agree to that to a certain extent, but when it comes to love, there's certain things men will die for because of love.
But the question was if a relationship can
survive
without love. It wasn't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Without love.
And that's why when women.
Okay, that's apart from the family.
Okay,
yeah. For sure.
That's why when girls get to know you and find out, oh, you have a mother. Oh, where's she at? let me meet her. Because if we don't get
Okay.
along, I'm not
You are
staying.
cooked. You are done.
I don't know. I
It
don't
ain't
want World War
happening.
III. Do I look like a strong warrior? It's not gonna happen, mate. Not doing it.
I believe it's on you to ask her.
All right. I'm gonna ask you this: do you think men and women can be equal?
Please don't cancel me. Please. But no, it's impossible. As much as like society would love to push like girl power, woman power, like we're equals. Even in like corporate America, we don't get paid the same as much as we do fight for our rights and everything. And yeah, you can be like a police officer. Women can be police officers. You can be police officers. If me and Elvis were in the same field right now, policing, who would you trust to save you?
Him.
Of course, but I'm pretty strong. I might not look like it.
Yeah, but
But they can tell you.
I'll let you arrest me though.
They can tell you I'm pretty strong.
Why can you to
But like, I'm telling you, like it's never gonna be equal.
True.
I do want to add something to what you were. Sorry for cutting you off. I think
It's okay.
the idea of that equal. I think people don't understand what it means to be equal. I think that's the first thing. The idea of equality. People don't understand what equality is. I think every time I've had this conversation before is that whenever I have this conversation with a lady and they talk about equality and I ask them to define it, they don't define equality. They define equity. You want to be treated fairly, not equally. And that's the truth.
Key points.
Yeah, people want to be treated fairly, but they confuse fairly and they say they want equality, but it's impossible for equality because we are not all the same. Like even as men, most men are not treated equally because it's almost impossible to treat them equally
To women.
right? So not even to
Oh,
women,
to men
to themselves.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
almost impossible to treat men equally to themselves. Because, like for example, just like you mentioned about the gym, right? We go to the gym and, like for example, tomorrow we're helping a friend move. If we go there and there are like smaller figured people there, and there is something heavier and they need two people to go pick it up, they're not going to look at the smaller people and be like, you guys go pick it up. No, they're going to be like, okay, Elvis, Ini, you guys go pick up that everyone. You guys go pick up that one. That's just it. It's impossible to treat people equally. You can treat them fairly. And there's this great example that's Len's growing up about the difference between that equity and fairly, right? We're all four people here. You have two houses, he has three, he has four, I have five, right? To treat us equally would be, you give me one, I have six. You give him two, he has six. You give him three, he has six. They give you four, you have six. But is that fair? No, sorry, to treat equally, is to give 3, 3, 3, 3, right?
Yeah.
But what just happened? I'm still going to have more than everybody.
Yeah.
But what they need is to treat fairly, right?
Yeah.
Since I have 4, I only need 1 more.
Yeah.
You only need 2 more. You only need 3 more. You only need 4 more. That's equity. That's fairly. And that's what people want, not the equality. Because equality doesn't change anything.
I think it actually ruins society.
Yes.
Yeah.
No offense, please don't cancel.
Good.
I agree.
That was good. That was good.
Actually, shout out to you because you actually touched what I was gonna ask before, man. Because the last time we did a podcast, you told me that you have a group of your friends, your circle, that talk about anything that you guys be going through, man. If you don't mind, I would love to use your circle because I already have you and probably one more guy that we can have a men's conference and we can talk about our men's issues in at least people.
All right. Don't
I
worry.
mean,
I have.
Stacey, you can shave your head and join us.
I'm good. I'm super good.
Yeah, that's no problem. Man. Actually, the guy we helping move tomorrow, that's like our big brother. Like he's literally our big brother. Like that. He has mentored us in a couple things too. So he would have no issues joining for sure.
Yo, anytime, even if you're not doing next weekend, yo, like I told you, I have a studio right here. This shit is open 24/7 any day. Doesn't matter, man. It's all about your schedule, man. So
He's flying to Vegas on Sunday. He'll be out there for a week.
Vegas.
So once he comes back, we'll definitely chop it up.
What are you doing in Vegas?
Vegas.
I'll try not to get married there. That's all I can say.
Try? Excuse me?
I will call your mom.
You been there before?
The first time.
First time?
Yep.
Yo, bro.
African Giant hits Vegas.
Going with my girlfriend. So.
Should I give? Oh, okay. You got some.
Good save, because I know exactly what you're
That's why I
going to say.
say
With my girlfriend.
Hey.
Nah,
Make it clear.
I was gonna tell you the churches to go to, man. Like,
The churches to go to.
Bad churches.
All right, Stacy, it's on you. Shoot on him.
Oh,
Go
okay.
ahead.
Wait, I had a question. You actually kind of stole my question, but it's fine.
this is crazy.
That was funny. He said, I was just going to tell you the church to go to.
Oh, I have one. Do you think men and women can truly be friends without any attraction complicating things?
So, you're terrible.
You know what? Maybe I should put Elvis on the spot with this one because we're gonna do a drink with him on this one, man. But you know what? To be honest with you, to you asking me that question at this age, man, I can say yes, man. Because right now I have friends that I have female friends that I have no attraction to, but they are so beneficial to my life. You know what I mean? So it's really possible. Like prior to that, I didn't see it like that way. I was like, yo, if I have
Prior to what?
Prior
Was
to
there an
him
accident?
growing,
yeah,
maturing.
yeah. To me, I saw females like, if you my friend, man, at some point I just have to get it. I mean, like, I gotta get them chicks, man. You know what I mean? But
So you're saying that all your female friends you have no attraction to, like you don't even find them pretty?
no, it's not that I don't find them pretty. That there's no sexual attraction to it.
It wasn't just sexual attraction. It was just attraction. There was no specific type of attraction.
Okay, yeah, then I guess there's no attraction to it then. But
Nah.
I can't even say that. I can't say that because even the value I get from you is attraction for me to you. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I can't say that there's no attraction. There has to be an attraction.
An attraction complicating things.
No.
You want me to read it again?
No.
Read it
no.
again.
Okay. Ready? Do you think men and women can truly be just friends, and I quote, without any attraction complicating things?
Yes.
Yes.
Didn't I get my answer?
That's
valid?
literally your
Yeah.
answer. His answer.
Okay, I was
yeah,
confused.
yeah.
Guys,
For sure,
sometimes
for sure.
one
That
plus
was my
one is not
answer.
equal to up here sometimes, okay? Just need to hear it twice.
Yeah, my
okay?
answer
So
was
yeah,
valid.
yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's easy for me to answer. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I know your answer.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, once you age, yeah, you get to that point. Like, yeah, things just smooth because I can see the value in you. You know what I mean? I can see you for you. I don't have to see you like your sexiness and stuff like that. Like I was just want, you know what I mean? But before, as men, we used to be like that. Like, if you come around, I'm like, yeah, you know, we gotta hit that before. I mean, yeah. But again, there was no maturity before. But right now, we're on a different level. I mean, life is bigger than that.
We are not led by lusts, but by faith.
Jesus.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So
Aini.
yeah.
Sean,
All
you,
right.
you better ask a question that's gonna make me drink now.
No, it's to make you drink. Do you
ready.
think?
Either way, he has to take a shot, man.
They just
Do
want to
you
drink.
do you think
No.
religion
of course,
has
it's
had a
Chafuwa
good
Meza,
or
man.
bad impact on
Hold
the
on,
world?
hold on. Say
Wait,
one
what's
more
that?
time?
What was that?
Do you think religion has had a good or a bad impact on the world?
Oh, I got so much for this one.
He wants to drink, but he also wants to answer the questions. Ladies and gentlemen, what will he do?
Do I think religion has had a good or bad impact in the world?
Let me also add to that knowing that almost all the wars that has gone on in the history of humanity has had ties or has been caused by religion.
Okay.
Shout out to you, and you make this shit harder.
All right, here we go. What time is it?
Your time, nigga. It's the time for answer the question.
48?
Yes.
Okay. In 10 minutes, I will try my best.
Let's not get cancelled. Carry on.
Here we go. I'll start with this. I believe we're all very versed with the word, right? So if we look, the word says, "He who is persecuted on my name will attain the kingdom." Right? I'm paraphrasing. So, do I think religion has been a good or bad thing for us? It comes down to this: what do we define personally as religion? If we are looking at it from a perspective of this, there, Hinduism is a religion, Buddhism is a religion, Christianity religion, Islam religion, then yes, it's bad. But if we look at it this in this aspect, we all have one creator. At the end of the day, no matter what you look at, Islam, they call him Allah. We call him God, right? So we all.
But you
Go
can
ahead.
say all because you have atheists also. They don't believe in nothing.
That is not a religion.
It's true.
Atheism is not a religion.
But to them, that's their religion.
Well, I guess I'm gonna get canceled. I don't think they are a religion. And I will proudly say this because at the end of the day, even atheists themselves, they believe in something greater than them. Do they know how to define it?
That's a question.
That's a question for them, not for me to answer.
True.
But they do believe on a greater thing. I believe the greater thing is God. Islam believes the greater thing is Allah. At the end of the day, has that been a great thing for humanity? How do you make your moral values? How do you move from day to day? How do you make your decisions to do what you do? What makes you a good human being? What do you use to define what is good and bad? Why does it not stop you from hitting the next person you see on the road? Why does it not stop? What stops you from robbing the bank? Then yes, religion has been great for
So
humanity.
I would say that religion has nothing to do with our moral values, in the sense that they are literally people who have never heard of God or Allah, but they still have that value of what is good and right,
Why?
because they grew up. It wasn't a religion thing. It's just knowing that okay, some things are good, because
what
we know that
defines it
things are
good?
good and things are bad, not because of our religion, because of the culture we grew up in. Because we grew up to know that this thing is good, this thing is bad. Because okay, if you're looking at it in sense of religion, right, you can look at
But remember what I said when we started this conversation, right? It depends what you define as religion. My definition of religion is what Paul says in his book. Once you trust and you believe in he who is above, that is what I call religion. Now, if you look at the religion and you break it down and you define it as that one, like that minuscule Christianity or Islam, Hinduism, then it all comes down to what do you believe religion to be. Even that person who has not heard of God and Allah, they believe that something greater passed knowledge down to them who were before me and said, listen, me doing 1, 2, 3 is good, 1, 2, 3 is bad. To them, that is religion.
Makes a lot of sense. I like that. I can dig it. But but this is the question though, right? Because there's a lot of people have not read the Bible, right?
Yeah.
And then there's people, like you're born, how you grow into your life, right? At least how you brought up. Your parents tell you you're a Christian.
Right.
This is where we go to church and this is what we pray to. So
Absolutely.
you have no idea of the backstory, and then you just end up caught up in whatever your parents end up doing. You know what I mean? So you like the backstory of what you believe in, to just end up believing in what their parents are telling them to believe in. So technically, it's like you lost by default.
But are you lost in sense? So I wouldn't say lost. I would just say you don't have clarity,
Okay,
right?
I
So
can dig that.
it's more like you you have been following this because your parents said this is the right thing to do, and you trust in your parents and you believe your parents are always gonna have your best interest at heart. So then I'ma follow what they say. But I think once you have an encounter, once you have that moment, that personal moment with He who is above, then you start defining it for yourself. Now it's that at that moment you become clear, you see the vision, you see the full picture. But in the beginning, you just saw the piece of the puzzle.
Can I say something? Yeah, sure. I missed a little bit of it, but I think religion is a choice, and I think from somebody who actually I went to a Catholic school. What was served to me every day was Catholicism
In America or back
in America.
Okay.
But in my Catholic school, they also taught us about Buddhism, Hinduism, educated us on all the other languages, like not languages,
Private school,
but like
right?
yeah, it was.
I gotta be.
But with like being in a Catholic school, they still taught us about other religions, and it's not like I wanted to be a Catholic. I hated going to church on Sundays, waking up at 7 a.m. to clean the house so I can go to church on Sundays just so I can be there. And I knew what they're gonna preach on Sundays because I was an altar server. So I'm like, okay, we're just repeating the same thing every year back to back, and the Pope is reorganizing the whole thing. Like literally just in a different order. Christmas Mass, I know exactly what they're gonna say word for word. I used to recite what the priest was saying while sitting in the back, like while I was altar serving, just word for word. But when I left home, I literally left my like going to church and everything. I didn't do it, so I'm like, no one's here to like force me. Cause sleeping on a Sunday, who's gonna force me? I'm not, like so. And there was a time in life where like something bad happened to me, and I really was like down bad, and the only place I could go was to some higher power, and the higher power was God, and it was a choice I made. I could have went to like the Buddha gods. Like Catholicism never worked for me. Being a Christian never worked, so that's why I'm so low. But like, I chose God because I wanted to choose Him. I didn't go choose a different religion because this religion didn't work. So I think religion is a choice, and the religion you choose is very important.
That's a bold statement right there. What you just said. You didn't just choose this one because this one didn't.
Didn't work. He chose this because I wanted it.
Yes,
That's powerful.
bold statement.
That is very, very powerful. And that's why I said at the end of the day, it comes down to what you define, you yourself deep down, truly, what do you define as religion? Now, if we look at it at a grand scale, you are absolutely right. Most wars have come because of that, but I think it is because of confusion of the masses, right? Like, how many times have we sat down in and talked about the confusion of what the Al Qaeda and the ISIS, what they do, right? How many times have we sat down?
That's deep.
When have we talked about that? But we understand that is not Islam. Yeah. We understand that is a group because I can sit down and just same way say, okay, KKK are literally the version of them, right? But nobody wants to really say, oh,
we don't
want to talk about that conversation, right?
Yeah.
Because this is Christianity. But that is literally who they are. They are just the version of that. They are the radical group of this said religion. And so when a group say, oh, I can mess with these people. No, you don't mess with this radical group. You don't understand who they are as a people. So it comes down and that I think that's what really brings the wars and whatnot. But as a whole, do I think religion is great for humanity? I think religion is amazing for humanity, so long as you understand individually what religion means to you. Yeah.
Wow.
Like that.
Mic drop.
Mic drop. I was trying to do that, but I
Mic
can't
drop.
drop the mic.
Yeah, To be honest with you guys, I don't want to lie to my fans because I've been saying this shit from the get go, man. When I started my podcast, I didn't mention I never want to talk about religion and I never want to talk about politics because that's one thing about people in life. They have so much passion to disagree with you with whatever you believe in. They will highly disagree with you with a passion, and some people will be ready to kill you for that. And I always say that's something I will never want to talk about because my platform is a peaceful place. I want people to come over here and have a good time, not be judged or feel like someone want to take your life. But the stuff we say tonight, man, it's peaceful. It's all peace to everybody.
Yeah, with
We're not saying
respect.
anything to make you guys feel inferior, or anything like that, man. We're just having a good time. It's just this is just our thoughts, and yo, just to make you guys feel better, I'm gonna just make him take a shot because I know when we see Chafuwa Meza, man, we drink, everybody have a good time, man. But in the meantime, though, um, again, I want the two of y'all make sure you bring the homie, man, two more homies, man, because we're gonna be having two extra seats over here, man. We gotta have. I need for us to talk about men's conference. That I mean, men's mental illness because a lot of men are going through it, man. Who can speak for men if we don't speak for it?
Exactly, you guys. That's so smart. And can I speak for the ladies when I say, can we have a yap session? Can we just borrow this studio and just have a yap sesh?
Can you borrow the studio
Yeah.
for a yup session?
No.
Yaps night.
Listen,
No.
No one asked you any.
listen. You're welcome. Just bring three other more females. I'll just
Oh my
ask.
god, I'll bring 6. What?
Bring them.
Yaps gets so good.
Bring them. We also want to hear your side of the story. You know what I mean? Because trust me, end of the day, we need each other.
We do.
We need each other. I mean, we can all coexist. We need each other. So bring them. It's not going to happen all together at the same time. But it's going to be different days. You know what I mean? But we need that. We need that because we need peace, man. Peace, we go farther.
Exactly.
We need that. So if you got friends like that, please, please, please let them know. This is the platform where you see the platform, they can see you. It's right here. It's not going
This
anywhere,
is
man.
gonna be good. They're gonna see you. They're gonna love it.
Oh god.
Come on,
So much.
come on. Hey, I think that's a great idea. Bring the fellas, bring ladies.
Oh my god.
Let's
the yaps?
let's really have a conversation about mental and trauma and all that stuff. Like let's break it down to where, because I think social media, like you said earlier, right? Social media is starting to divide us where we have to be on this rumble, this fight with each other, and it's just like, why are we doing that, man? We love each other. Let's have a moment. Let's break it down. Real talk.
Facts.
Real talk.
You know how I'm gonna do this. You know how I'm gonna do this is actually I'm gonna have this shit separately. Like I'm gonna have men's conference and I'm gonna have women's conference, and then after that I'm gonna have all of us all together. Just chop it up the whole thing. And trust me, yeah,
T.
Tea.
I'm here for it.
yes, this is my vision, man. And to be honest with you guys, man, I appreciate you. Like him, when I say him, I mean Elvis. Elvis has been the guy so far has been most on this podcast, man. Like through love, man. Like every time I ask him to come through, he shows up. We know, like just love, man. He never questions anything. Just to love, and you can see, and it's not even just me, man. The feedback I get, as I was surprised when you tell me people are actually attacking you. The feedback I get on my side is like, yo, can I
It
get
was
you
him.
back?
It was her.
Oh, it's
She
just
was
her?
attacking me.
I didn't attack you.
I didn't say anything.
Yes, she did.
Nah,
I was
it was
there.
all love, man. I got so many comments later on. They're like, "Yo, man, we listened to your podcast, Brand. Thank you for what you were saying. Like,
Yes.
thank you for educating." And I was like, "Listen, funny enough, me and Lemmy, like, we see before the podcast, we get on a call and we will talk for hours and we just break down everything we're talking about, and just like, it's life. This is what we are seeing. This is what we go through, bro." So
Yeah, facts, man.
Amen.
And to be honest with you, man, to have someone who can truly support you with nothing behind it. A lot of people support you because they want something behind it, man. Like what can I gain from this shit? Like, yeah, I got you now. Not me, not him. he came from true love because when I started, like that was like maybe episode 2 when I had him, like zero. I was starting from scratch. Like I had 0 fans, 0 followers, 0 videos, nothing going on. Just the platform. Like I mean, not the platform. Okay, whatever. The studio. I just had a studio. That was it. But he saw the vision. Was like, you know what? I'm gonna pull up and we're gonna make it happen. And guess what? Today we're here. And we're gonna do more. We're gonna push it because you know why? We're gonna change your lives out there, whether you like it or not. Nothing gonna stop us, man. And with that being said, we're gonna take this shot real quick, man, because you know what it is, man.
Don't tire.
Yes.
Good thing that Ini drives. Hey, Ini, I'm so glad you're here.
How many shots did you take?
I have no idea.
Jeez.
He's a Kenyan. He's
Salute.
in DA, man. I mean, it's not here.
Woo!
Those can't be fake shots, right?
Fake?
Yeah, like water. I'll pretend.
No. Now we Kenyans, man. But anyway, as we end the show, man, I'm gonna let you guys say your last word, and then you can plug in your platforms or your handles, whatever you wanna plug in. Please go ahead, man. You can do it.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, my people. It's me again.
Oh my God.
Come on.
Just a final statement. Just remember that Nigerian men don't cheat. We're still the giant of Africa, and I'm still any freaking robots. And I'll see you guys later. That's all.
Peace out.
Bye bye.
Wait, before we move to the next person, when's the last time I was in Nigeria?
This is December. I just came
December?
back. Yeah, I just came back in December.
So every year you go at least once a
no,
year.
this is the first time I went since I've been here.
How was your experience?
It was
Got
amazing.
mosquito bites every day.
It was mosquito bite a lot, but it was amazing other than that.
You want to see
Would you like to
pictures?
move back one way?
If I can get the remote job that I can work from there, of course I'll be there. Life was good there.
In the habit.
Yeah, when he did the exchange rates with the currency, no, life was good.
Come on.
Life was good.
All right, I'm gonna leave it at that, man. All right, go ahead.
Hey, man, this is your boy Elvis. Man, I appreciate coming back. Appreciate y'all from loving me from episode 2. And listen, if y'all call me back, let the man know. I will be obliged and I'll come back. Peace.
Hi, my name's Stacy. What am I saying, you guys?
Your
Keep
name, your
Keep talking.
No, tell me.
Your last words.
Hello, my name is Stacy Dilulu.
Okay, first
like that.
off,
Or they will tell
that's
people
a side. That's a side.
The one and only Queen Delulu.
Anywho, thanks for having me on the show. It was amazing. I really enjoyed having like actual intellectual conversations, and you guys educated me a lot on Burkina Faso. I had no idea about that. Yeah. Yeah. It was nice being with you guys, even though there's no one here. Bye.
Hey God.
Go ahead. You gonna close us in prayer again?
Okay, guys, I'm fine. I'm good.
You gonna close us in prayer?
Hey God.
I'm okay.
Oh.
I'm okay. I will do it after.
Do you have any social media, you know?
Oh yeah. My Instagram is nstace19. Yeah, and my Twitter too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mine is Johnny_Elvis.
All right.
Do you have one?
I don't have social media.
Oh,
I'm trying to be like him
Loser.
soon.
you guys
Very, very
don't
soon.
deserve Instagram.
I agree.
No, Instagram deserves me.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it
What
does.
would you bring to Instagram?
Everything.
What would you bring to Instagram?
Everything.
You know what would have been a good topic to talk about? Fitness.
That's on the next one.
That would be so fun.
That
That would have been so, especially with
nah,
us.
see, that would get us canceled.
No, I think it would have been so fun to talk
No,
about.
no,
Nah, that
It
would
would get me
definitely get us canceled.
That would have been a great topic. We all work out all the time.
We literally go to the same gym all
Yeah.
together.
Really?
Yeah.
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 I would like that.
That would have been so fun. I don't know why I never thought of that.
No, we can do that next time.
When do we have next time, guys?
The schedule
you
tells
let
us.
me know. You let me know. I'll let him know.
No,
We
you
are
almost
most
he almost
welcome.
didn't bring me because he was feeling petty. Just so you know.
First of all, that's when they still recording me. Don't let them open your yash here
Oh.
and expose why.
Do you really?
Okay, wait.
It's time to go.
It's time to go.
It's 1 a.m.
Okay. All right. Thank you guys for watching. It's been a good podcast, and we're going to see you in the next one.
Bye.
Chafuwa Meza, tuko Nairobi tuna Chafuwa Meza. Chafuwa Meza, Chafuwa Meza, tuko in the city. Chafuwa Meza, Don Kings in the building. Don Kings in the building. Chafuwa Meza, Chafuwa Meza, tuko Nairobi tuna Chafuwa Meza. Chafuwa Meza, Chafuwa Meza, tuko in the city. Chafuwa Meza, Don Kings in the building.